Want a TV? Haven't you got 4?
Yeah, oh wow, there's so many. Hey everyone. So as usual, let us know if we sound weird and robotic or other weird technical things. I've had everything shut down for a week when I was out of town. And of course all the settings changed, and like all of my browsers are coming through music now, which is weird, but hopefully this looks okay. And please also let us know if anyone is too soft so I can bump up their volume. Hey everyone, this is, man, is it Sunday?
It's Sunday, bud.
Is it before or after Christmas? I'm confused.
It's before.
Okay. Well, I mean, good, I guess. Yeah, I traveled 16 hours yesterday. So, yeah, awesome. I'm a little bit like, ugh. But anyway, we are here not to talk about that, but to talk about these lovely people who are playing little old ladies who love murder, or at least used to. We'll see what happens this particular episode. This is a game inspired by Brindlewood Bay, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse hack by Jason Cordova. It is not expensive. You can find it on DriveThruRPG. I would highly recommend it. And The Between, which is another one of his games. That is another hack of Powered by the Apocalypse. It's very easy to pick up. And like many of the good Powered by the Apocalypse games, it is simple but deep and designed to help tell a particular type of story. And the type of story that this game is designed to tell is basically Jessica Fletcher meets Ghostbusters, sort of, more or less. And this is the question mark, you know. And this is the third of a planned 3-episode arc introducing these characters. It is set in Willow Bluff, which is a shared setting across a number of games, past, present, and future. And we should probably introduce like the players and have you guys talk a little bit about your character, and then I'll have someone probably give us a recap of what happened last time. So since Meg is off camera, why don't we make her start?
It says do Ricci first. Whoever reaches.
I tried to do Ricci. Hold on. I'm here.
That's fine. Can we?
You can find me.
Well, no, it's fine. It's fine. I was just messing with you. But can we set up the auto mod to block Ricci, because that's inappropriate for a Sunday morning. Anyway, Ricci. Let's start with you.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I've been taking a little bit of a break from streaming, but I'm still doing Stream Raiders. I am actually currently streaming Stream Raiders right now, so if you want to throw in a unit, feel free, or you want to drop me a lurk, that would be wonderful. But that's kind of what I'm mainly doing, because I'm working on coming back in the new year with a brand new stream. So yeah, that's me, and all my socials are on my Twitch page, so you can find it all there. And Morrow.
Hello. I'm Morrowind in my sales. I also used to stream, and then I haven't streamed in a long time, but not
you
this
took
week.
An arrow in the knee.
What?
You took an arrow in the knee.
Took an arrow to the OBS. And I not this week, but next week. I should be doing probably a couple of Link to the Past streams. So you can come follow me at twitch.tv/Morrowind in my sales. Because that's what I usually do. Maybe some speedruns or something. I don't know. It'll be fun. Because I got some time, so I want to try and stream a little bit. But I'm playing Carolyn. She is an outdoorsy old lady. She doesn't really trust technology too much. She has a Billy Bass on her wall that when you push the button, it sings Little Richie songs. She likes knives and photography of nature and fishing. She's a little blunt and a little gruff, but overall has a nice heart. And Misha.
Hi, I'm Misha Less Than 3. I don't really stream, but you can find me on Twitter at Misha Weha. That's Misha with a WEHA at the end. Let's see. I am playing Nellie. She is a retired nurse. She loves to knit. I got my knitting here just in case. She's nice to all the other old ladies here and is the one that has a car, or at least had a car.
I mean, you still have it.
Then we can go up to Megan.
Muted. Hello. I'm getting into character because I didn't feel like getting ready today, but then I was like, well, my glasses are right here, and I just put a comb in my hair. So I'm getting there, okay? I'm Megan and Mel. I am a streamer, and I really like
Good God.
streaming, and you should come visit me on my stream. And oh yeah, that's great. You should come visit me. And also, I am on winter break right now, so I'm streaming like all the time. Okay, not right now because I'm here. But you, so you come give me a follow and put your notifications on, and I'll entertain you all winter break. And then it's usually Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays. And I play. Who do I play? I'm not Gilly right now. Who am I? I'm Marge. I'm Gilly's mother, and I am a Minnesotan who likes to feed you hot dishes. So get ready.
And wear age-inappropriate lycra.
Yeah, I love lycra. I'm gonna work out sometime in it, maybe.
Someday. Right? Awesome.
Someday.
I am Zero or Zero Delight or Michael or DM or GM or Keeper. I think it's Keeper in this one, or Master of Ceremonies or whatever. I stream here a lot and sometimes other places. So we are on a hiatus until January for our main D&D campaign over the Juices TV program and Lissa T channel. But we are every Wednesday playing, or I am playing over at Duckworks channel, where I play a totally normal human who is neither a bard nor a tiefling. Anyway, so I'm extremely online apparently. Let's see, what should we talk about? Oh, we should talk about what happened last time, or maybe just a general synopsis of the mystery that you guys are involved in, and then kind of bring us up to date in the completely normal, safe situation that the ladies find themselves in at about midnight on a Monday night.
It's completely safe. So the Murder Mavens are on the case of the death of Doug, dear deceased departed Doug, of the proprietor of the Stop and Shop here in Willow Bluff. He suspiciously died locked in his freezer safe, which everyone said was an accident, but he was definitely trying to get out. The Mavens found some evidence there while snooping around, including his phone that had pictures with a mysterious, creepy girl in them. Very weird. That evening, two of the Mavens, Lillian and Carolyn, had weird encounters that night that sent them either diving into a swimming pool or running to Nellie's house because their house was trying to kill them with all the electronics inside. The next day, the Mavens regrouped and started looking at their evidence, seeing what they could do to investigate. Everyone is suspicious of the Lexi unit, used to, ask what time it is repeatedly for everyone listening to their stream or something. Lillian had one in her house, and so did Doug, whose Lexi unit suspiciously knew what music Lillian liked, even though she'd never been there. We all remembered our dear adoptive grandson Kyle, who worked at SynTech, the big company in town. So we all decided to pay him a little lunch visit, a little picnic inside the corporate office lunch space. And we grilled him for some information where we learned that Doug was on a beta test of Alexa unit. Seemed a little weird. We tried to snoop around the office, but we actually just ran into one of the board members, whose name I've forgotten, who's friends with Lillian. She gave us a little tour while we were there, and we saw that the AI machine learning development group, I think none of us really know what they do other than research. They have a separate research facility a little ways away out in the woods. And they had won an award, which was a really weird looking obelisk. probably of Nordic relation, the CEO, Hendrik Avery, I believe, had come in to deliver the award itself. So after we left the building, we decided to go do some research at the library. Running into another friendly face from another game. We did some research and eventually found that another similar obelisk was part of the founder of the town. Their family had one that looked like that too. So we decided to go bother a relative. I've forgotten his name as well, sorry. At any rate, we went to the local restaurant and asked him some questions about it, with Marge doing age-inappropriate flirting to get this information. He doesn't know much about such obelisks, as he's not really interested in family history. It had probably been his sister Grace. But there was a connection to all of the Nordic stuff. Yep. So that evening, we decided to do a little illicit spying mission over at the research facility of SynTech. Carolyn went out into the woods and then immediately ran back saying there was a bear. And then the land barge that I drive was attacked by a mysterious large white figure that punctured a tire and has rendered the car unable to drive. There is no cell service. The Mavens have now equipped themselves with a variety of cozy weapons and are going to probably be deciding what to do next.
Yes, you're not in a good spot. To fill in just a tiny bit of information. So you had, in your research, I think it was actually when you were talking to Timothy Paulson, who is the youngest and one of the only descendants here in town of Oliver Paulson, who founded Willow Bluff 150 years ago, and about whom many rumors and mysteries abound. But that the item itself is something known as a memory stone. It was used by ancient Nordic people to commune with their ancestors and to effectively store their collective memory or retrieve it or something. You don't really know. And it was kind of odd. And there is, in fact, a myth here in this part of the world that long before Columbus discovered America, but long before what is traditionally taught as the first European ventures to North America, there were allegedly Vikings who brought not only themselves but also their culture and religion to the region. So there's some connection there. And who was it that spent some time with their husband just before he mysteriously disappeared in the Malaren Islands in Sweden, which happens to be the headquarters of the Loop Corporation, which is the parent company of SynTech? Yes. So shortly before Reg disappeared, you had visited the Malaren Islands, which was also potentially a clue, because that is the area from which this memory stone kind of cultural belief stems. So weirdness abounds, but I think at the moment the concern is there's something outside your car. And it's the middle of the night. The only things you can see are a little bit of the road in front of you from your headlights, a little tiny bit of the road behind you from your taillights, all washed in red. You can see the lights of the SynTech research facility a couple 100 yards away.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember leaving in this predicament.
Oh, yeah, I do.
What?
Yeah, we definitely
I don't make memories after like a certain time.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
So Marge is just like, oh, why are we here?
So basically,
I know. I just like came to. I'm like, hold on, what's happening?
Nellie convinced Carolyn to break into the research
Yes.
facility.
Okay, let's
And
not.
me and you were just like, sod it, we'll go along. We might as
yeah.
well because we
Yeah.
stick together. So we were probably just having a good old natter in the back of the car.
Oh, totally.
Carolyn decided to go off into the woods, smelt something funny, then put down some deer pee and ran for it.
Correct.
Carolyn always
But then
going in the
heard
woods.
a branch break, and a branch break, not just like a twig, like an
Yeah.
actual branch. So then did a move so that she performed like a woman half her age,
Yes.
and got out of there, got back to the car, said, "Hit it, Nelly," and we went to go, but then one of the tire burst.
Oh, yeah. Can
something-
we change a tire, or
Well,
like, are we scared of things outside?
Something
No, something
grabbed a
popped our
hold.
tire.
Yeah, something
And-
grabbed a hold of the back of the car, and then you heard
Yeah.
screeching like nails on chalkboard, only
Yeah.
it was claws on
Yes.
sheet metal,
On the
and then
car.
felt one of the tires pop as the lower driver's side sank.
And there's
Yeah,
no.
and then
Yes.
there's no phone signal, and then you tried to get around it by convincing Michael that Thingy had a radio, and we had a whole
Yeah,
debate about
CB
cars.
radio.
having
He does not have a
radios.
Because they did.
Yeah, Nellie's
so we
Nellie's
had a whole
Grand
debate about
Marquis
it,
does not
so-
have a.
Dang it,
CB
Nelly, I
radio
told
in
you
it.
to get a CB radio in here.
You do, however, have walkie-talkies.
We do, yeah.
Yes.
No, we totally would.
You brought those with you.
No, I brought them.
Yeah.
I brought them because my kids
Oh,
played army
you're
with
so
their dad.
smart.
Like I
Yep.
literally said it before we left. We've got night vision goggles. We've got a
So
bunch
smart.
of like army equipment that my husband left for the kids to play with.
Yeah, I went
Well-
full Splinter Cell.
Well, ladies, do any of you know how to change a tire?
Not with a bear out there.
I mean, I ain't going out in that. I tell you
I'm ready to
that.
run for the research facility if that's what we choose to do.
Oh yes, I think we'll just go ask them for help. We just got lost in our way. Where's that place you buy the gallons of soup there? You just buy them in
Just
the
say,
Big
by the way,
Sarah.
we haven't did our questions.
Farm and
Oh,
fleet.
that's a good. Yeah, I know folks were selecting them, but why don't before the action begins in earnest, why don't you tell us what your end of session questions are, so we kind of know what
yes,
your
the
agenda is
questions.
this time.
Oh yeah, dang, dude.
I decided to pick did you behave like a woman half your age, and did you dote on someone?
Okay.
I think a woman half your age is a good shout, considering we're going into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all about to act
Scenario?
like women half our age is when we're gonna
Yeah.
be chased by a monster, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
who knows?
So I'm definitely going to go for half your age as well. I was
Okay.
considering still got it, but I think I might go for, look how white this sheet makes me, the PDF. I was thinking about going for wisdom, maybe
Share some wisdom. Okay.
wisdom. Yeah, with someone younger.
Really
Hopefully we'll survive and I'll be able to share some wisdom about
Yeah.
it.
Well,
I
the
think I'm
monster
gonna
is
go
probably
with the
younger than
still
you
got it.
are. And if it eats your brain, that probably is sort of like sharing your wisdom.
I'm gonna go with still
I
got
don't know
it.
how I can get experience when I'm dead, though.
I mean, it will be an experience, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
And it's
behave like
serious.
a woman half your age and did you show someone you still got it? I'm gonna go with both. Double whammy.
got it.
I behave like a woman half your age just goes hand in hand with my character.
Yeah.
But the other one I'm going to do this time is share memory of a late family member, because everyone just keeps asking me about my husband screaming in my head. So like it's going to come up, I feel like, again.
Yes.
It's not weird. It's not weird to hear your husband just screaming in your head all the time.
Well, the good news is that you don't hear him screaming in your head right now.
Oh, good.
You hear him screaming out the walkie-talkies.
Oh.
Oh no, is the thing outside your husband?
Oh no.
Do you
George?
even know that that's her husband though? What is this
He
went
screaming?
Thing.
If that's my husband, I am going to literally kill him.
Okay,
Well,
let's get into
How
character.
dare he?
Good
First
news.
of all, years. Okay. Second of all, that's how he greets me. No. No.
What's
I'm gonna kill him. I'm
interesting
gonna kill him.
is Lillian. You don't hear screaming.
At the walkie-talkies.
You hear, Lily, come find me.
Oh, for
I'm so close.
for God's sake. He's back. He's fucking back again. That fucking...
Marge hears neither of these things. Marge hears, it's so cold. I can't catch my breath. Help me. I'm so close to you. Just reach out and grab me. Come, save me. What do we think Nellie hears?
Static.
I mean, it could be, it could very well be a little girl saying, Miss Nellie, I'm lost in the woods. Please come find me. A very familiar girl who is a mathlete and band member. Or it could be something else.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Remember that time you threw the pastor out into the wilderness? Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Emmy. And Nellie looks down, and there's a little pale hand on the floorboard down by your feet.
I stomp the hand.
The car lurches forward as Nellie slams on the accelerator briefly.
Use the knife.
Everyone,
you dear.
And the people in the front seat slam their foreheads into the dash. The people in the back are thrown up against the back of the seat.
Thrusting motions like we practiced.
Like, what are you doing, Nellie?
You might want to put it in
There's a
park.
little hand in here.
There's no hand. What are you talking about?
You need a hand up there?
Are you hearing my husband?
No, I'm
Marge.
hearing mine.
What? I hear mine. I hear Reggie again.
Marge is in the back seat. Your feet are suddenly very, very cold.
Oh, it's freezing.
You look down and the wheel well where your feet are rested is filling with icy water. Chunks of lake ice
Question.
floating in it.
We
Jeez,
see
bud.
it.
Jeez, bud. It's wet in here.
Can we see it too?
No,
Michael, or not?
No,
no.
we're
Did you
all
not
having
wear
our
your
own hallucinations.
And
Get
I'm
him where you-
like, what do you mean it's wet in here?
She's like pulling her lycra covered legs up like to the seat, like trying to fit on the seat. Like, there's water, it's everywhere. It's filling up and it's freezing.
I can't see any water. What are you talking
don't see
about?
You don't see it, put your hand in it.
No.
Put your hand in it.
No.
Put your
I
hand
don't
in
want to
it.
put my hand in.
Then, because it's there. You're lying to me.
Oh, right.
there
I'll put my
water
hand
there?
there.
You don't feel anything.
Do you
However,
feel it?
if you touch her,
nothing there.
if you touch the lower part of her leg, it is icy cold.
Oh,
Awesome.
mate.
It's not wet.
We got to get you. We got to get you checked for DBT.
Oh, no.
Like, we've got to be careful.
It's I
You've got
knew
to be
it.
careful with
It's
your
'cause of all
veins
the
at your
alcohol.
age.
Carolyn, being situationally aware,
Your veins.
looks out to the sides and just like very close to the car, but not quite in the direct path of the headlights. You see a familiar man standing just outside the tree line.
I swear to God, I'm going to go kill him. And if I don't kill him, then that thing outside is going to kill him. So either way,
He takes a
that's win
step
for me.
to reach towards you, and then something massive and pale. You can just see an arm with clawed fingers reach and grab him and yank him back into the woods.
Nobody kills
And
my
the
husband.
screaming
But me.
gets louder and louder.
Nope.
May I just inquire as to how many Banes and Boons and whatever we've got?
We
yeah.
for sure have a
Banes and a Boon.
Yeah, we for
and-
sure have a
and
major
Bane.
Bane from Kelly. Thanks, Kelly.
Because Megan had it written down from last time.
We are 2 and 2.
Have
We were 2 and 2.
Two major boons, one major bane left from last time.
And we're now back at 2 and 2 because of My Fair Kelly. Thanks, Kel.
No, we're at 3 and 2.
3 and 2.
From pain.
Okay.
So we're at 3-2 right now. I'll write it down.
Nope, we got a major boon and a
Thanks,
major bane.
Minnie.
So yep, 3 and 2. Yeah, you're right. 3 and 2. Cool.
Thanks, Miggy.
So you have plenty of things you can do. Or you can just sit here and listen and watch.
Oh, all right, ladies, it's time to leave the haunted car. Grab your stuff. We're going to the facility.
Remember, if you see anybody that's not us, you stab it with the weapon of your choosing.
There.
Okay. I put on my night vision goggles and I give a pair to Carolyn and I
Those
say,
look so lovely.
I reckon you'll know what to do with these.
I
And
look
I'll just
around.
offer them. And then I just look at me walking and I'm like, Reggie, do shut up.
All right. So, I would say you have a choice between each of you taking the night move, or if someone would like to take an occult move. It's a question
Let me
of
look at what they are.
It's a question of, I mean, the occult move is risky, but it's a question of whether you're just legging it or if someone wants to, in some way, resist what is currently happening. Because while the players and maybe even the characters start to understand that some of this is less than entirely real, the gouge marks in the side of Nellie's car and the burst tire are 100% physical and real. So it's just a question.
I feel like the person who would be most resistant to all this would be either Nellie or Lillian. Because Lillian's
Here's what I think. As I do a countdown, I'm like, all right, everyone grab your stuff. And we're all like, get ready to go. We'll go on my mark. And as we're getting ready, I grab out my necklace crucifix and I start saying the Lord's Prayer as we're going. That's my main defense. I'm like, I'm telling everyone to stay with me. I'll get out the car at once. I'll lead. You guys be ready to follow. We'll go right for the facility. This will protect us, I'm sure.
Cool. So, Marge, Lillian, and Carolyn, I need a night move. Nellie, I need an occult move.
All right.
As a meta, you have major boons. Using that on the occult move might be good because none of you have a very high sensitivity.
We do not.
Yet.
If you don't mind, I'll take a major boon on the occult move then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can take it after. And yeah, let's do the occult move first because that might change.
I'm going to take it right now.
Okay.
Currently I have a 5.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a reroll or just add another die?
I don't care. Either one. Whichever one you would like.
Reroll. Well, wasn't the best, but it ends up being a 7.
Which is good because it works. It's even better because that means you get to mark Crown of the Void.
I don't know what that means.
So look on your character sheet.
Good.
And read us the text if you would, because I've got a different thing up. But
yes,
I'll describe how it works. And the good news is this establishes a move that everyone can use. So we'll say when you Oh, ad lib. When you abjure evil, on a hit, it is unable to attack you. On a 7 to 9, there is some sort of complication that doesn't, prevent it from physically harming you, but there's some other weirdness. And on a miss, the protection doesn't work. It doesn't require a crucifix or a whatever the little macrame cross or whatever it was that one of you is wearing, but you each have a protective totem. So if you would like to change from a night move to an occult move using this new ability that you all have copying Nelly, you may certainly do so. Nelly, however, let's resolve the Crown of the Void.
So when you mark the first box, there are Crowns of the Void, so I'll be marking the first empty box, which says, "A shadow in the garden. Hereafter, during cozy vignettes focused on you, or cozy move scenes involving you, you must also narrate how dark entities subtly reveal themselves in the scene."
Yes. So this is think of it like a doom track. The more you have to wear the Crown of the Void, the more deeply you become entwined in the supernatural mystery, the dark side of town. So Nelly has taken her first step on becoming part of this sinister underworld of supernatural goings on. Cool. However, it works. So, does anyone else wish to switch from a night move to the new custom move, or are you just going to leg it?
Leg it.
Okay.
Leg it is my better option too. Can I leg it with composure?
I don't. It does not require. I think it does not require sensitivity. It's what this is a custom move that is added to the shared moves of the Mavens. So if you want to use, you could use, for example, composure to do the new custom abjure evil move.
Okay, I'll do it then.
So Marge picks up what Nelly is putting down and attempts to abjure evil.
I literally I didn't even turn on my gut. I just rolled a 12.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. With a 12, it works, and there is, in fact, some sort of visual, like a little sparkling sphere of light surrounding Marge that appears to drive shadows before it. Lily and Carolyn, night move or new custom abjure evil move?
I'm gonna go with the night move myself, just because it's more.
Yep, it's more what Carolyn would do.
Yeah, she's not about she's okay dealing with spooky stuff, but she doesn't deal with the spooky stuff. She just maneuvers around it. So I'm gonna try a night move.
Alrighty.
That is an 8.
Wow. You do it or hold steady, but there is a complication or cost.
Correct.
So I'll narrate that in a moment. What is Lillian doing?
So in terms of the narrative, Nellie's saying stuff with a cross.
The Lord's Prayer.
Marge is.
Yeah, what she said. Right.
Right. And
I'm like just making it up though, because I don't actually know it. So I'm just like trying to I'm trying to talk with Nellie, but I'm guessing all the words, so it's like really awkward.
And Carolyn is running.
Preparing to go fight.
And what's the new move then? So my choice is night move and
it is the abjure evil move. When you
and what does that mean?
It just means that if on a hit you protect yourself from like physical harm from an evil entity, on a 7 to 9 you still protect yourself, but there's some complication, and on a miss you are open to its attacks.
Okay.
So basically divine protection.
Okay. I will go for the occult move then, because I think
The new move.
theoretically for me, for Lillian, I think that she's kind of focused on this ghost Reggie,
Yep.
and just had it really at the moment. So it's just very much like, I know you're not him. I know that.
Yeah.
So I'm not really afraid at the moment, weirdly, because I've not yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, but
you
I've
could
rolled
that
a
could be
9 anyway.
composure or reason.
Well, I rolled a 9, and both of them are 1s, so.
Oh, that would make it a
10.
10. Excellent. So you are protected without incident. Marge is protected without incident, and Nellie established the move. But there was a complication, correct, Nellie? Because you had to mark the Crown of the Void. Got it. All right, Carolyn, how about you?
There was a complication.
Ah, right. That's where the complication was. So you are able to dodge, but there's going to be something bad that happens.
I'm scared.
So the 3 of Nellie, Marge, and Lillian kind of cluster together. Nellie at the forefront, very confidently saying the Lord's Prayer. Marge kind of just mumbling other stuff, and Lillian just kind of joining in, saying, "I know this isn't real. I'm not afraid of you, whatever." And Carolyn just books it, leaving you all behind. You all see something massive. Running on all fours, but as it reaches the center of the road, it stands up on its hind legs. It is pale. It is shaggy. It has antlers. And it stands out and reaches for Carolyn. Carolyn dodges off to the side, but then it begins to corral Carolyn. It begins to block Carolyn's progress toward the research facility, basically driving you off into the woods. So if you would like to continue to avoid getting mauled by the thing, you kind of have to run off into the woods by yourself.
Yes. I'm going to run off into the woods by myself.
Excellent. So you just see Carolyn crash off into the underbrush with this thing in hot pursuit as it drops back down to all fours and moves just to the edge of the woods and turns back and looks at all of you with glowing eyes and then scampers off in pursuit. What do the 3 of you ladies do?
I'm like, well, that's different. Why'd Carolyn run into the woods? We got to go after her.
Oh, do we? Rip Carolyn, we hardly knew ye.
Nellie,
Nellie?
that's terrible.
You
That's terrible.
wench.
Nellie,
Well,
I see where you're coming
here's the
from,
thing,
but that's
right?
awful.
That thing is chasing her right now. Is it quicker for us to quickly change your tire and get to the facility, or
Knowing how to change
just
a
run to
tire.
the facility?
It's
We'll just go to the
significantly faster to walk to the facility, walk a couple of
We'll
hundred
just go
yards.
to the facility and
Okay,
they'll help
thank you.
us, and we'll let them know that Carolyn's being chased by, let's just say a bear. Let's just say a bear.
It wasn't a bear, was it? Antlers.
Oh, they don't need to know it has antlers and is white and fluffy and clawful.
It didn't have antlers.
We don't, yeah, and that's the thing is that we don't
He
want
said it
them
had
to think
antlers.
we're
It
crazy.
has antlers and it smells.
Does it
Oh, I
smell
thought
like
you said-
deer pee?
No.
We don't want them to. If we tell them it's pale white and has antlers, they're going to think we're insane. We need to say bear. We think it might be a bear, but it looks lighter than a bear.
I mean, maybe we just say our friend's being out here being chased by some kind of creature. Could you help us?
Yeah.
Yeah. A rabid animal.
Yeah. That works too.
I think that's probably the best bet.
Then we quickly approach the facility.
All right. The good news is you are not accosted by the creature. You are still hearing the various different voices. Marge occasionally feels like and it's not like a subtle feeling. It's like Marge stumbles because Marge's leg breaks through the surface of the street, the road rather, which looks like blacktop until you step on it and it turns out it's ice, very, very thin ice covering very, very deep, black, frigid water. The rest of you just see Marge stumble a bit, but to Marge's perspective, you can hear the road cracking around you like thin ice over a winter lake. Nellie sees a little girl flitting between the trees, calling out almost playfully, "Come find me, Miss Nellie." Lillian keeps hearing her husband, and never getting that same kind of angry, insistent tone, but becoming more and more urgent that you need to find Reg. You know, I've been lost for so long. Why did you stop looking? I'm so close now. Just please come find me. Everything can be like it was. Carolyn just feels tree limbs whacking Carolyn in the face and just the burn of using old lady muscles to plow through the forest. And you can probably all hear the crashing gradually dwindle. The good news is that Carolyn's smart and is still kind of banking toward the north, where you know the wall or the fence around the research facility to be. But with the exception of minor inconveniences, Nellie, Marge, and Lillian are able to make your way to the gatehouse. It is at first not occupied, but as you approach, a young woman in not exactly a military outfit, but it's kind of like a pseudo-military. She has a gun in a holster on her hip. She has a taser on the other hip. She's wearing a flak jacket. She comes out of a little office into this glassed-in observation booth and looks at you all. What are you ladies doing here?
Hello, dear. We've gotten lost. Having car trouble, and our friend has been chased off into the woods by some sort of creature. And we're wondering if you could help or have a phone or something to call for animal control. Police.
A creature? She looks like what? A dog?
Like a bear?
No, it's bigger than a dog, yeah.
Bigger than a dog, definitely.
What are you ladies doing out here? Like
we got lost.
Yeah, we went for a midnight drive. We were just like, you know, our friend, you know, she likes the woods and stuff. She was going to show us some things that you can only see when the like clouds are gone and stars and stuff. Like we need to get away from the city to see it. So and then our car we lost the tire went, and then we came to try and get some help here, and our friend got chased off by an animal, so we need some help.
I'm going to say someone should make a night move with charm.
Please, it's not me, right?
No, you're in the woods.
Is that presence?
Presence, I mean, yes.
Yeah, presence. Go ahead.
I mean, this is technically doing something risky, but it is also attempting to pull a fast one or, be a little old lady
Do you
in
want me to do
distress.
it?
Sure.
I only have one presence.
There's been a minor bane and a minor boon,
Yes.
just so you know.
We have lots of all the majors and the minors.
I got 7, and I got 2 for presents, so 9.
Would you like to use the minor boon to add 1? Or a untrammeled
yes.
success. All right.
Yes.
So, the good news is that Lillian reminds this young security guard of her own grandma. So she is suspicious at first, but just you playing up your presence and your charm, it's sufficient to kind of tug on her heartstrings, so she becomes less suspicious. Okay, well, if there's an animal out there, you ladies need to come in here. So she'll unlock the door and let you into the little booth. You can see there are security cameras around the entire area. They don't quite reach out far enough that you can see your own car. But as you are looking, you can see Carolyn barreling through the woods in this kind of like grayscale, slightly night vision. And the young security officer says, is this your friend?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Wow,
That's her.
she's really moving.
Yeah.
She's acting like a woman half her age.
Yes, she is.
There's nothing else on the camera though. Like she takes control and she types a little bit, maybe moves the joystick to see what's chasing Carolyn. There's nothing.
Oh, great. That's lovely. I can stop running then.
Oh, Carolyn for sure hears and feels this thing's breath behind you. Can you feel it crashing?
Jazzercise.
Yes.
Maybe you stopped chasing her and she didn't realize,
Maybe it's impervious to cameras.
Yeah, I think
She
it's more likely
gives
that she
you-
doesn't know that she's still being chased.
Marge gives you a very piercing look when you say that.
I'm like clueless.
Yeah. It's not the rest of you see that it's not this old lady's crazy look. It's a very kind of
What makes you say that?
suspicious.
Like, how did you know
look.
that kind of look?
It's a suspicious look. And then she says, well, I'm gonna have to call this in. And she picks up a phone. And you just hear her side. I mean, you hear wah, wah, wah. On the other end, it's like, I have 3 ladies here. They say that they were out for a drive and got lost. Yeah, we're at the South Security Gate. Oh, supposedly there's a animal chasing one of their friends in the woods. I've got her on camera. It just looks like an old lady running through the woods.
Looks
All right.
like a young lady running through the woods, though.
Yeah, but she's moving like a woman half her age. And it's just will do. And she'll put the phone down and kind of. And she turns and smiles at you and says, "Ladies, there's nothing to worry about. We'll have a security detail go and find your friend. And a car is being sent for you right now. You can rest in the facility while we sort out what's happening. I'm sure we can find someone to change your tire."
Oh, good. Thank you.
I hope the security guard's packing because I'm ready to fight anything.
How long do you think the security guard or security detail will be? Like, I mean, I know she's running like a woman half her age, but I don't know how long she can last.
You actually see headlights coming. Like, it's very quick, and you could hear an engine revving on a Jeep. Carolyn.
Yes.
So you have been booking it through the woods this entire time.
Yep.
You have covered the distance, and you can see now in front of you the break in the trees just before a very, very tall chain link, potentially razor wire topped, potentially electrified fence of the facility. As you break out into the clearing, you hazard a look behind you and you see this. It looks bigger than it did moments ago. It looks like it's been growing as it's been chasing you. It's like you could almost hear the creak of trees and the snapping of limbs even high up as this thing barrels through the woods toward you. I would like you to make another night move to avoid having it eat you.
Okay. How close is it to me?
Maybe 10, 15 feet.
Okay. I was debating to see if it's getting bigger. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to try to just kind of dash on the ground and then have it run past me while I slash at its ankles.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it is moving at full speed. So yeah, I think as a defensive measure, dropping to the ground and hoping it'll run past you.
We have two major boons too.
Yes.
Don't forget.
I'm gonna blow a Colt Sievers on that one.
Aha. Yes,
I'd like
it's
to
a new.
try and slash at it while it goes by, so I can at least wound it and have a chance to get away.
Yes. So you automatically achieve a 12 plus.
Yes. As I just kind of look behind me, realize I can do the math of how far I can run and how fast they can run.
Yes.
And then I can see the intersection point. So I'm like, this isn't going to work well for me. So I just huddle down, have it go barrel over me, and I slash at it, one of its legs, trying to hit a tendon or something.
Yes. Well, so while the rest of the ladies watch on the security cameras, you see Carolyn barrel out of the trees, heading towards this fence, turn and spin with a knife out. And you can probably see her mouth words like she's egging this thing on. Mm-hmm. And then she does a very athletic kind of combat roll down onto the side and so kind of does a tuck and roll off to the side. You don't see anything in the camera. However, there is a shower of sparks and a momentary fritz on the camera. And when the static clears up, you can see that a massive hole has been somehow made in this perimeter fence. On the console in this little security cubicle, you see a red spinning light. Mm-hmm. And you see, perimeter breach, sector 17. So clearly,
George.
Yeah, clearly the security systems have detected this very, very physical breach.
I'm going to Marge. Marge says, "Told ya." Told ya.
The young security officer puts her hand on her unholstered pistol and says, ladies, trespassing on this facility is a violation of federal law. We are this is a secure facility, so I have to warn you that any shenanigans trying to illegally gain access could result in significant fines and potentially years in federal prison.
Hold on.
We don't have that many years on us.
And I say,
What are you talking about here, though? Because here's the thing. Our car's right there, and you can see that it's got a slashed tire and a big old jab in the side. We can go look at it right now. We're not doing shenanigans. We got attacked, and we came here for help, and you brought us in this facility. So don't come in here and start saying to us, oh, you better blah, 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 because I'm telling you what, you brought us here. We need help.
yeah, how do you
citizens.
trespass when you walk up to the gate and then the person lets you in? I mean,
Yeah.
I got a bit of advice for
how
you, love.
dare you?
Be pop a colour. Put a bit of orange with that. Bit of orange might bring out some colour in your face. You look a bit pale.
Well, you all do because you're under fluorescent lights. But who would like to make the night move to, with I'd say composure or presence? Your choice.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, it definitely needs to be Marge. She's the one having
I'm
a
the
go.
one going off, yeah.
To
I'm
aggressively
just backing up,
sass a
being like,
security
Yes.
guard.
yeah.
Well, because
Yes.
I'm annoyed because we didn't do anything.
I mean,
how dare?
On camera, it looks like y'all are trying to break in, or that you're setting up a
These
distraction
youngins
so
got
Carolyn can break in.
Respect. No respect.
I got a 9 + 1 is 10.
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent. Something about your, I mean, maybe her training is that if you were some sort of elite corporate espionage squad, you probably wouldn't be quite so forceful and scolding.
No,
So
I sound like your grandma because I'm old enough to be your grandma.
so she takes her hand off of her holstered pistol and says, I'm sorry, ladies, this is a very secure facility and this is a very strange, we don't have people just walk up. So we do need to find out what's happening here though. So at this point, a Jeep squeals to a halt. So if you'll just go with these gentlemen, just to answer their questions, and you know, and we'll make sure that, like I said, we'll make sure that someone goes and sees to your car. And she'll press a.
Did you get?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Did you get Carolyn then?
She's just pick up. It's like, yeah, we have an intruder over in Sector 17 near the breach. She's just an old lady lost in the woods. Yeah, no. She's not a security threat. But you probably want to go and recover her before she runs off again. So the result of your successful move is that she also buys the Carolyn didn't set like explosives trying to break in, and calls security to come pick Carolyn up. What Carolyn experiences is watching this creature leap over you. Like it steps out of the woods on 2 feet and then sees you and crouches down on all four and then just leaps directly at you right as you combat roll out of the way. You reach your knife up and you can feel it catch on something. Like it's not completely immaterial, but as you do, what's trailed is like pixelated sparkles.
Oh, it's like the girl almost when she like kind of.
Yep. And then when it hits the fence, there's this big shower of sparks from it clearly was electrified. And you can see it held there, like in the midst of this electrical field for a moment as it totally de-reses, like lines of resolution moving through it, little pixels popping out. And then it just kind of pop. Almost like what would happen if a tube TV was overloaded. Right. Not the whoop down to a little dot, but like the whole thing just kind of flickers and pops, and then with an audible pop, it's gone.
They can fix that.
Yep.
You just gotta slap it on the side, jiggle the rabbit ears.
Right.
It's good.
So, it is not long, however, before people that look a lot like commandos. I mean, they are carrying submachine guns. They are wearing black, cargo combat everything, face masks, helmets, rush out and drop your weapon because you're still holding a knife.
No.
you gonna duke it out with these guys?
No, I'm just gonna put it away.
Oh, okay.
Just no, it's mine.
They'll look to one of them. One of them will just be like, "It's fine, ma'am. You need to come with us."
Okay. Are you guys cold? You look very cold out here.
One of them goes, "Yeah, it is kind of chilly." Shut up, Dave.
No, here you go. Here, you can have my crocheted Rambo scarf. It's very good for commandos out in the chilly weather.
Why not make a night move to see how much you can subvert these paramilitary commandos? in the brief time between them walking you?
That's a 5, which is a fail.
You can take it, or you can
We have
use
a
a major boon.
I will. What?
I tell you what, if you spin a major boon, I will let you switch it to a meddling move
Done. Oh, good.
to see if you're able to coax any information out of these lovely young boys.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the boons because I know Payne said he wanted one for the Wrath
Yes.
of Carolyn. So this will be that. Oh, that's a 1 and a nope. That's still a 4. It's still a fail.
I stole your announcement, Meg.
So
Okay, that's totally fine.
the good news is the bad news is that they're very professional,
Yeah.
but which means that you aren't able to gather any information from them.
Yeah.
Thanks, Proxima. So we're back up to 2. But because of spending the major boon, they don't view you as a threat. So while you don't gain any useful intel, they treat you appropriately for a little old lady, and they don't confiscate your. They don't even search you for the massive number of blades that you have stashed about your person.
I am packing.
Yes. The Jeep carrying the other 3 of you will, the guy will kind of listen in.
Wait, I needed to say something to the lady before we left.
Okay, Lillian. As you're being escorted, or as she is escorting you towards the Jeep, she's hit a button. The little crossbar lifts up. The rolling large gates open up to allow you entrance into the facility, and you say,
I say to her, now I wasn't joking about the proper colour. Like, just a bit of orange, nice orange scarf with that ensemble. It'll bring out the gold in your eyes, darling. You look fabulous, trust me.
okay. So she'll pull out a little notepad and write orange scarf ? Next to it. Okay, thanks.
Stand out.
And then as soon as the others approach, she gets all serious again. They very efficiently bundle you into the back of this Jeep. The driver gets a little cheap on his shoulder-mounted walkie-talkie. You pull by the side of the road, and several paramilitary commandos escort Carolyn into the back of the Jeep with you. And
See that girl?
Yes.
I was just like Colt Seavers.
And you all have a very short ride to a just a big, like, concrete block building. Very few windows. It's not even as interesting as like brutalist architecture. It's very government bomb shelter looking, very, very substantial. As you drive by, you can see other guards with dogs, like 5 or 6 patrols, all out looking at the grounds. You can see kind of over far to the side, you can see another vehicle that is at the breach where Carolyn came through. So this thing is now someone has struck the hornet's nest. So this is on full security alert. You are escorted in to a very generic, like, there's no signs. There's no sign on the outside. There's no labeling on the doors. There's definitely no federal law prevents firearms in this facility. There's none of that. It's just a like tacky wood paneled hallway. And you are led down one hallway, down a set of steps, with people being, kind and letting you kind of move slowly down the steps into what looks to be a basement level, into another very generic hallway, into a very generic room. The rooms have numbers, but that is the only marking that you've seen so far. You are led into a room. It has a very large mirror on one wall, buzzing fluorescent lights above the other, a metal table with some folding chairs around it. And the security guard that leads you in says, "Someone will be with you real soon," and then steps out, and you hear the door click as the door is locked. What do you do?
Ladies, it's a real interrogation room. I'm so excited. We've never
fixed
been in
my
one
makeup.
before.
But
You
are
all
we
fixed
being
your makeup.
interrogated?
Oh, I think we will. Oh, what, are they going to keep us here for a few hours
Are
and then
we
give us
gonna be
water and then make us want to use the
interrogated?
bathroom and then we have to and then we want to stop.
Oh,
they gonna
I'm
come in
not
and play
all
like-
for
like-
waterboarding this. We can't
You know,
take it.
like good cop, bad cop?
I don't know. Yeah, good cop, bad cop. That'd be
You think the
pretty
bad
fun,
cop
wouldn't
is
it?
single?
I'm excited.
Oh, I don't think they have anyone our age here working for them, do they? We're going to be looking at, like, trying to look through the mirror the whole time, also.
Oh, yeah, just peering in,
Just like,
waving.
Look,
hello.
I am not pleased with this place. It's very grey.
Well, I don't
Like,
think
they
you're
could have
supposed to
put-
be. You're not supposed to be
You
pleased.
can't be happy, could you? Now, look, there's no cushiony things in here either. Could you like knit
want
up?
to make people happy?
No,
in
I
here.
have, I have some. I open my knitting bag and I pull out a
Yeah,
blanket.
could you get me a blanket or something?
Yeah, here you
like,
go.
just
You can use that.
throw it over this seat here. Like, we need a bit of something in here. Oh my goodness, you expect me to wait around in? I haven't waited around in something since like 1972. I ain't wait.
It's a good year.
Yeah, good year for wine. I tell you that. Oh,
Oh, that's right. We should have a glass of wine to celebrate the
It'd be
interrogation.
really funny if we pulled out wine from her bag, but I don't think that would actually be something we travel with.
Well,
well, I don't have wine, ladies, but I've got a little gin.
We're just passing around a flask of gin.
Oh man.
yep.
Little tipple.
I mean, that is on Lillian's cozy list, so I don't see why not. So, would you like to do anything? Or are you just waiting?
Get
Is
the
there
dirt
anything
off.
that you need to have a conversation about?
No,
While
I'm
you're
pretty
being
sure we
observed,
all-
probably.
Yeah, I don't think we need to have a conversation about anything while we're in a room where they're watching us. So,
We've read.
No, I
murder
think we're
mysteries
just still
before.
really excited. Maybe we start
Yeah.
talking about like one of the shows we watch and how they got to go into an interrogation room, and that was a funny episode, wasn't
Oh,
it?
do we say? This reminds me of something that happened to Delacour.
Yes. Is that what we say?
She broke into that top secret
If you
facility.
would like to take the Gold Crown mystery move, you certainly may.
I don't think we need to right now. We can probably do that
I
later
know,
when we're going to
it's
die or
funny.
something.
It's
Oh,
just
you know what I
funny.
meant to tell you too? I meant to tell you ladies that no. I'm not gonna say.
Oh, really
I agree.
interested
I
that
meant
one.
to tell you that I was gonna try that new palette that Lillian gave me, but I just couldn't give up the red.
You got it.
Oh,
gotta.
yeah.
She knows her colors.
I know.
Who?
You know your colors.
Oh, I do, yeah.
It would be funnier if you said I did, but yes, she does.
No, you've all seen my trophy room. It looks a lot like this room.
No, it looks a lot like a bunch of trophies that all have little knit sweaters and stuff on them.
They do. Yeah, thank you, Noah.
Yeah,
So it's very
that's
very
true.
cozy. I mean, it's
It is cute.
as cozy as a taxidermist workshop can look, but
Yeah.
I think I go up to the mirror. After about 5 minutes, I'm going to go up to the mirror and be like, hello.
Just start knocking.
Hello. Like, could we at least get a cup of tea or something? Jesus. Hello.
all
You
right.
have cocoa.
I'm not being funny, but we're old ladies. Some of us, we have weak
Can
bladders.
I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, you can't be doing this to us.
You don't know if we
And
have
also-
pretends or not.
Yeah, and we also
I've already burned through mine. It was very scary.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Don't tell them about the pretend. Anyway, we've been in here for forever, it feels like.
It's been 4.5 minutes, but that's fine.
I know. We've got very few minutes left of our lives. Could we please find out why are we being kept here? We asked for help for our car to be fixed.
If I die in here, I'm haunting you.
Imagine telling my loved ones that the reason I didn't see them at the end of my life was because I was stuck in an all gray room.
Yeah.
So as
I'm
you
very
going to be
naggy as a
knitting.
ghost.
as everyone but Nelly proceeds to riot after 4.5 minutes, you hear
Knitting in the corner.
you hear a click from the door, and one of these paramilitary fellows opens it, and a man steps in. Turns around and says, "Get these ladies some tea or coffee."
Coco.
Come out.
Miller High Life.
Coco.
Not allowed on the facility, I'm afraid, but just get a mix. Coffee, tea, and cocoa, he'll say to someone, and they will shut the door behind him. He is in a... It's not necessarily an expensive suit, but it's very well tailored. Like, it fits very well. He is a man, maybe in his early 60s. Kind of silver white hair, a little longer than maybe is fashionable. But clearly well coiffed and like held in place with maybe some Brill cream. There's a little bit of a shine to it. Dark sort of horn rim glasses. He's got lines on his face, but he's very clean shaven. Nice kind of purpley blue tie. Dark suit. Doesn't appear to be worn, but you can just, especially Lillian, you can tell this is not an expensive, flashy suit, but it's very high quality. Mm-hmm. This is someone who invests, and it's very, very well cut for him. He's tall, a little bit over 6 feet, slender, not quite gangly, but almost, but seems very confident.
Marge walks over like she's going to sit somewhere, but she just turns to the mirror real quick and does this and then sits down.
We're gonna draw straws, okay?
I'll just say, look,
Ladies, you've had an
as a
eventful
man
evening.
who knows his taste, could
He'll
I don't want to ruin my outfit. Could I use the toilet, please?
he'll knock on the door, and then we'll say, "Will you show Miss Lillian to the restroom, please, to the facilities?"
And then I say, how does he know my name? As I leave.
He just smiles. You are escorted to the facilities,
Yay.
which you may
I'm
use,
still over
or
here pretending.
let me know if you do anything other than use them in the traditional fashion. I mean,
I just think
there's a meddling
What
move in
I-
there somewhere, potentially.
is there any vents in the toilet?
Yeah.
Okay, I go up to the vents and I get my little scissors out and I unscrew the vents
Yep.
and I stick my head in to see if I can hear anything.
You
From
hear
anywhere.
you hear the, like, just a little bit of a low hum, probably from the air conditioning system, and maybe you hear just the very faintest murmuring of voices from some room relatively nearby, but nothing intelligible.
Okay, so I'll put the vent
Unless
back
you
on.
would like to make a meddling move.
I'm just thinking about doing it like on the way back.
And as Zodi's suggestion of turning your hearing aid up would be a good reason to.
I don't have a hearing aid.
Right. It's fine. But this is.
I don't have one. I do have walkie-talkies and night vision goggles.
This is certainly an opportunity to meddle if you would like.
The hearing horn.
And Zodi
major
handed over
boon.
another major boon, so you are full up on those.
Okay, I will definitely meddle.
All right. Using reason or composure or sensitivity?
Well, I think it depends. Like, if I'm going to get in the vents...
Whoa, okay.
then
Well, that's a whole other
then
situation.
I think it's got to be vitality. Is that what it is?
Yes. If you're trying to crawl through the vents, that's a whole other. That's probably going to be a night move.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking more, and it doesn't.
but-
You could do one and then the other if you would like. My recommendation
gonna
would be to
meddle.
meddle first to see if you can hear anything or see anything of use.
Okay. Well, what I do is I meddle. These glasses keep steaming up. I fashion. I find some products around the toilet, and I fashion a like a device that helps me to hear better.
Sure.
Out of like a wicker basket because I'm crafty,
Yeah.
and I have like obviously a battery powered glue gun on me.
Of course. Why not? And your book of swatches and stuff. So sure, no problem.
Yeah.
So to assist
So,
you
yes.
in seeing if you can pick up any useful intel from the
Yeah.
murmuring in the vents.
I rolled an 8.
We do
What do
have
we think it?
we have 3 major boons.
What do we think it?
And
What do we think it
Zo-
would be?
Zodi
Composure,
spec-
reason, or presence?
Well, it wouldn't be presence. So reason or composure. And Zodi redeemed a major boon specifically for Raichi to meddle like the old lady you are. So you may certainly use that.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. pop it.
okay. But what would a boon do?
Reroll, it's major, so reroll take the higher.
Oh, okay. Just do you reroll one or do you reroll?
Just do them all. Doesn't matter. Unless you got like a good one. You can reroll up to
Well,
all
I
of
got
them.
8, which is quite good.
Yeah, you can like if you have a 5 and a 6, you can keep it. You can reroll
Okay,
up to all of them.
I'll roll. I'll keep 1 4. I got 2 4s.
Okay.
Oh, I frozen. Have I frozen?
Nope.
I've also frozen.
Okay. Oh, that's just on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that was worse. That was a
yeah.
3.
Okay. So, but an 8 is sufficient. It is successful.
Oh
So-
yeah, but I didn't add my thingy. That's what I was
Oh,
trying to say.
yeah.
I didn't add. I rolled an 8.
Yes.
And then composure and reason are both 1, so it'd be a 9.
Okay, cool. So, you
I'll roll that one as well. I'll roll these.
you get a clue,
ones.
but there is a complication.
Okay.
The clue is through your, very rapid crafting of basically an ear horn so you can hear, and maybe also because the people in a nearby laboratory move closer to the vent. You are able to hear clearly a woman saying, the readings are off the chart. They've been erratic for the past several days, but I've never seen anything like this. It's putting off a huge amount of energy. And everything we try to do to block it doesn't seem to take effect. The complication is that Lillian says something along the lines of "core blimey," or whatever Lillian would say when you are surprised. What would Lillian inadvertently say when you hear something surprising?
Probably.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, probably bloody hell, or like if it's the readings are off the chart, it probably just be like, oh, sweet Jesus, or something like that.
Yeah. So Lillian, hearing all this, starts to go, oh, something's going on. And then you pull back and say, oh, sweet Jesus, but like into the horn that you have fashioned to make it, which also acts like a megaphone. And then you hear the same voice say, what was that? There's something in the vents. So yes.
Oh, and I quickly put the vent back together.
Yeah. At that point is when the person, your minder, pops their head in and sees you. Would you like to come with me, ma'am?
It's in my toilet.
Would you like
my toilet?
Would you like to come back to the room with me, ma'am? Leave that. We'll have someone fix it.
I'm like, it fell off on me, right? He's shocking. Because you're an old lady, you're very fragile, you know.
Yeah.
You're very fragile. And it fell on me.
Yes.
And look, you got to understand that you're a young man, but when you get older, these things are terrifying.
Whatever you say, ma'am. Just come with me.
No. Listen, young man, listen. You got to understand. That was very shocking for me. I tapped, it fell off. I scared. I almost wet myself. I'd just been to the toilet. When you get old, you have fragile bones and a fragile bladder. You wait. You look after your health, young man. You look after your health.
Very, very sorry to hear that, ma'am. Now, if you'll come with me.
You should be.
Oh my God.
All right. So he will lead you back to the room. I will say, as you exit into the hallway and make your way back, not a long distance, back to the interrogation room, you see a couple of people in lab coats pop out of a door at the end of the hall, moving like, and they're kind of like looking around, and then they see the security guard with you, and then you can see them turn and like talk to each other, and then look very pointedly at you.
Okay. Oh, hello. How are you?
The man kind of raises a hand to wave, and the woman kind of swats it. And he puts it back down.
Nice.
And you can see her say something out the side of her mouth. So
I say to the security guard, don't teach manners here, do they?
he'll just say scientists. And he will as he opens the door and lets you in, you can hear the woman's voice saying, "Guard," like beckoning him to, you presume, to let him know what it was that they experienced when they heard you. So you're back in the room with everyone else. That is about the time when a lovely little, very like a melamine tray, like a old school high school cafeteria plastic tray with not particularly nice coffee cups, and like one's chipped and like they don't all match. Clearly someone raided whatever little coffee room. But there is some packets of hot cocoa. There is a thermos of coffee, and there is a little teapot full of boiling water, and a little wicker basket with a variety of not particularly nice tea bags. Like it's all Lipton.
Well, firstly, as I come in the door, I'm very dramatic about the experience that just happened to me, because I know that they're talking about me outside, so I'm like, oh, girls, I almost died. You go to the toilet, you think you're just going to go for a wee, I almost died. This place falling apart. Bloody vent fell off on me in the toilet.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, bloody vent fell off on me.
terrible.
I was shocked. And then these people with bad manners, one of them waved at me and the other one slapped his hand.
Oh, there, dear. Here, sit. Let me get you some tea. I'll put the blanket around her shoulders.
Yeah.
And I'll get that tea.
They don't understand
poured
these
and-
young'uns.
I'm so sorry. I should probably talk to somebody, because, I've got a lawyer who says that anytime something happens to the elderly abuse, because of building codes not being up to. We should probably talk to him then if they're.
Oh, you
Yeah.
could talk to your grandson, couldn't you? He's
Yeah,
out
that-
in safety.
the-
He knows all
the-
about it.
I could have
The
talked
man
to
in the
Jeff
suit.
about it.
Yeah, the man in the suit will lift up a clipboard and will look at a piece of paper and say, "Yes, you could speak to your grandson who works for health and safety."
Yeah, exactly what I said. You're dang right. I could. What's that on your?
Just on another note, we've all got better china sets than this at home. Do you want us to donate? Well, I've got about 5. Would you like a donation of a china set?
An
need a little
interior
bit of-
decorator? Because I tell you what, this place could use some color. And
man,
Lillian's great with that stuff.
I
Yeah.
can like
She
kind
is
of
a
slap
fashion
into-
designer, top tier.
Yes, I know. Entertaining guests is not one of our primary functions here at the facility.
Clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
I almost died. You're telling me?
This is
Well.
horrible.
I assure you we'll have that thoroughly checked out. My apologies for any upset that it caused. Here, let me go check. And he'll pop his head out and have a brief whispered conversation, look over his shoulder at you, and then pop back in. Don't worry, it won't happen again.
Okay.
Why don't you ladies have a seat, make yourselves comfortable, and tell me the story of how you found yourself here tonight.
Well, it all started when my husband was killed in the woods. All right.
No,
Every-
Carolyn, it didn't all
That's too far back,
That's
dear.
too far back.
Carolyn, that's too
Hold on,
far.
we gotta get to like the
Wait,
whole like the
Hold on,
screaming.
Carolyn. I do wonder though. You know how you always say that you hear him screaming and stuff?
I did. I always hear
How
my husband
exactly
screaming.
did he die?
They said it was a bear attack, but I don't know of any bears that claws that big, and also wasn't bear season. I know me a
And
bear
did
attack.
you ever see his body? Do you ever bury his body?
I saw his body, but we never got to bury it. It got taken away over here. Now, I'm pretty sure I saw it out in the woods, and I went to go hunt it, but it's faster than me.
So anyway, the reason we got here tonight, lay on them, is Carolyn, our friend, the one who's talking about a screaming husband.
All the time.
Things happen when you get older, sweetie.
Yeah.
I know you're not that much younger than us, but you wait a few more years.
I'm glad it
Yeah,
wasn't.
she wanted to see something about the night sky and the woods and stuff. So she was like, "Oh, let's go out to the woods because you get a better view of stuff up there." So we went, and then our tire blew out because Carolyn went into the woods for a bit, and then there was this animal and it chased Carolyn, and then it like punctured our tire, broke the tire, and then we
sprayed
tried to
deer
come
food.
here. Yeah,
I got some if you need
did
it.
ya? Nice.
Yeah.
It's clever that.
Yeah.
And then basically she got chased by the creature again. We came here, and that's the end of the story.
This is the same creature that made a breach in our perimeter wall, correct? The one that didn't show up on closed circuit camera. Interesting.
Well, I
And
mean,
you
you've got
think
to
this
believe
is-
us at first
Just a
anyway,
moment.
because like, how could she have done it?
And you think this is related to the disappearance or death of your husband?
Yeah.
Interesting. Have any of you other ladies experienced anything unusual recently?
I mean, we all experienced all that.
That was a lot.
There was a bit going on in the car.
Oh yeah, I almost drowned in the car. That was weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There was a little
That
girl in the woods as we were walking over.
Little girl.
Oh, the same one that was at my pool.
The very same.
Yeah.
Oh, she's such a sweet lady, but she's always she's a handsy. I don't like it.
Yeah, just a bit.
So are you explaining, I should say, you are alluding to the events. To what extent do you reveal the events that you have experienced?
I think that's it. I think
I think that's
I
about.
think
as
we're
far
leaving
as
it pretty vague.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then he will certainly question you. When you say you almost drowned in the car, could you describe exactly what you experienced?
I mean,
He pulls
it's
out, he
exactly what
clicks a Bic pen and begins taking notes.
That's what I'm telling you. It is. There was water in the car, but it's fine because we got out of the car.
Is
Now-
water related to any previous trauma in your life?
Well, I've never had any personal problems with water. My husband wasn't so good with water,
Ah,
but I was all right.
your husband. Drowned, I see.
No, heart attack.
Well, so he'll make a note, heart attack. In a polar bear dive, right?
Yeah, that crazy man. Oh, I loved him.
What about you, Lillian? Anything unusual related to past trauma?
No.
He kind of narrows his eyes, makes a note. Nellie, you saw a girl. Is this girl known to you?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say known, but there was an incident with that girl in town whose name I definitely remember.
Peggy Pulaski.
Yes.
Sweet girl.
And is
Good
it
at
is
math.
it fair to say that you were interested or attached to the mystery of what happened to Peggy Pulaski?
That's fair to say.
Whole town was.
Very, very interesting. So he will make a bunch of notes. All right, ladies. No harm, no foul. It's clear that you aren't
Sure,
It's clear that you aren't responsible for the breach in our gate. Probably a faulty system that caused an overload. So
Oh, I'm gonna kill it one day.
I'm sure you will. Is there anything else that we can do for you? My men are repairing your tire as we speak.
Oh, thank you.
Nope.
Did you repair the claw marks in the car as well?
He kind of looks aside and says, "Just the tire."
Is there
I think
Some-
you'll find that in your haste to turn around, you brushed up against a tree.
is there a Mrs. Stodgy clipboard?
There is no Mrs. Chen.
I like nudge Marge as hard as I can.
I'm like,
Ah, what are you doing? No, but he's insinuating. He says, for example, if you were to take your car to the Runson repair shop and you were to be asked how the scrapes came on your rear quarter, it would be from a tree, right?
Yes, a tree. Yes, there could have been a tree there.
does it
Marge. Marge.
Marge, he doesn't want us to talk about the monster that chased
He doesn't
us.
want to talk about it. It's a tree.
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
didn't sign an NDA.
Oh, that's true. We didn't sign an NDA.
I have a lawyer.
She has a lawyer.
I do.
Would you like to call your lawyer?
I mean, it's pretty late. I just wanted you to know I have one. It's important.
He will look he'll look through his clipboard and kind of go, mm-hmm. Sure you do. So, if there's nothing else I can do for you, I'll have someone show you to your car. It's been a pleasure, ladies.
You should get beer next time.
So he leaves.
I'm not stopping him.
I mean, if you want, we could try to meddle some more to get some more information out of him, because I'm not sure if we're ever going to get back in this facility.
That's true. And I think also I think Marge has finally understood why she was elbowed. And so she sparks up a hey, before you leave though, and she's like, oh, wait, before you go, come back here. I gotta, so how do you feel about hot dishes? Do you enjoy a hot dish? I would like to ask you if you enjoy a hot dish.
Wow. I think that is a definite medal.
We all know what
A medal with presence.
Be.
It's a medal with presence for sure.
Okay.
Oof.
Will do. Here we go.
How could that
Fail
not
me
work
now.
on anyone?
You have plenty of major boons.
I have a boon. I only rolled a 6, so I'm gonna take that boon.
And we have a new major bane from Twilight thing.
Oh no.
Come on, Twilight. Why you gotta be like that though? Okay. That is a 10. And I have 1, so 11.
All right. So he doesn't appear interested in that sense, right? He's not like, well,
Maybe he's into old ladies. We don't know.
but
One of these days we'll find
We're not
someone,
that.
Marge.
He's 60. He's 60, so he's not that much
and
younger
I'm
than
in
us.
Lycra.
I mean, this is the most
Old men
reasonable.
love Lycra.
it's true.
Like, I don't think we're old. I would have said we're like in our 70s or I didn't. So we're not that much older than him.
Yeah.
He's
I'm kind of a hot dish.
He's the most reasonable target we've had so far for this, to be honest.
So I will say that collectively, with Marge being using the entree of being a little bit like that doesn't necessarily pique his interest in a prurient sense, but it does stop him from leaving. So he sits back down, and you collectively have a chance to meddle with him. And while he doesn't necessarily give away any information, it does seem to like he puts his clipboard down, and you have a chance to talk.
All right, and just for my understanding, we haven't really let on that we know this is SynTech research facility, and they haven't really told us it's SynTech research facility.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
The only thing that we couldn't hide is the whole monster chased us through the woods.
And he knows your identity clearly.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be I mean, everyone in town knows that this is a SynTech research facility. So, I mean, but it isn't something that has been discussed.
So I feel like for a topic of like being like, oh, well, this is where you work. So you said this was a government place?
We're a government contractor.
Oh, is that like the SynTech place downtown?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
You know,
it
we
looks
were-
at you like you probably knew that, but whatever.
Yeah.
You ever been
Can I-
downtown? There's a real
You want to
nice,
go downtown?
There's a really,
Can I try and
there's a
steal the
really nice
clipboard?
watering hole downtown. We should get a drink sometime.
Wow.
Marge, you're
Can I
thirsty.
try? Can I
I'm always thirsty.
I'm
try
always
and steal the
thirsty.
clipboard?
Sure. Metal.
I wanted to do it while she was being sexy at him as a
Sure.
distraction.
Yeah.
It's super
Oh, it's
distracting.
still happening.
So,
Oh shit, that was a bad roll.
we're just blowing through all their major boons.
You have two
Well-
left.
What's what do we think it would be? I
Composure,
imagine.
probably.
Well, I mean, it's not a fail. I've got a 6, so with composure it would be a 7. So it just means I get some kind of thing.
Yes. So you get a glance, like you, as he's, kind of engaged, you just like very surreptitiously kind of spin the clipboard to yourself and flick through a few pages. You do see hastily printed dossiers on all of you. I will say that the fact that like it's a really non-flattering photo of you, Lillian. The photographs they're not like your driver's license photo or any kind of press stuff. It's a telephoto picture of you maybe sitting on your porch with a hot cup of tea.
But
And
it's not flattering.
It's not particularly flattering. Kind of grainy and black and white. But it's all of your particulars.
Okay.
And then you flip to the back page, and that's when he kind of catches you and puts his hand over. But you do see Project Lexi and some like written information on the third page. And then he kind of just like he didn't even turn to look at you. He just very slowly reaches out his hand and puts his hand on top of the flipboard, closing the pages, and then spins it back towards himself and slides it over towards him on the table.
So, considering we like were in a car situation, animal situation, why have you got files on us? And also, why have you got this atrocious photo of me?
There's a lot.
I've been in the press many times.
Mm-hmm.
And I have much more glamorous photos.
What
You
does
could have
my
just
photo
asked for
look
one.
like? Which one do you use?
You
of
don't,
me?
Marge.
Oh,
You don't want to
Why
know.
do they use?
camera.
Oh
I
my
can
come with
god, that looks
photos of everybody if you
terrible.
want.
You don't want to
What is
know.
this in my
You-
garden?
You ladies
I
just
look
dive in and
awful.
start.
There's some really nice.
It's not even.
portions.
Look at they got you trying to do some yoga, love, like
That's
in your
not,
garden.
that's
like,
me trying to pick up my spade. I dropped
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
it. What is
Oh,
this?
it's not
That's impressive. The reach on you.
flattering
The reach
at
on you, Marge.
all.
You see that, Mr.
Like-
Chen? There's some good reach going on there.
I mean,
We-
if you're into that.
We look. We are some glamorous older women, and we should be respected as so. I do not expect to see my photo in some awful file.
This is a terrible angle.
No, this one actually looks a
Yeah.
lot like me. No, this is good. Yeah, no, I'm okay with
Hey,
mine.
the only nice ones.
You
Nels.
got a knife between your teeth, and you're just like ripping skin off a rabbit. Yeah, it's super gross.
No, I like
Nellie's
this.
just,
Blood up
like,
your
knitting
elbows.
with a very pleasant look on her face. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, Nellie's is nice.
No, this is always perfect.
It's-
What's this all about? Why have you got files on us when we've just come like? Of what's this all about? What's going on?
I know what this is. This is the Tinder.
No, and he's asking us about your husbands and trauma and all this stuff. I want to know what's going on.
Everybody asks me about my husband these days.
We have files on everyone in town.
But why?
Well, we're a government contractor. You never know
What?
who.
So that allows you to just take
you
information
never,
off people.
you never know. It's all public, and you never know who might be nosing around, trying to look into
You
things
obviously.
that they shouldn't.
It's still saying.
I was just trying to enjoy a cup of tea on my porch. I remember this morning. It had a beautiful sunrise.
It's from a while ago.
I still remember it. Don't make a comment on my memory.
It was
like a steel trap.
maybe from like last winter or something. And all the photos are of various different ages, but none of them are super recent. At least as far as you can
what's this
tell.
about? Why do you want to know about our trauma and what we've been experiencing and whether we've heard this or seen this or why there's water? What's that all about?
He says, just curious.
Oh, do you know what curiosity did, mate?
Speaking of
Jumped
which,
over me.
Well, just so you know, murder mysteries are fiction.
Lillian,
We should know. Yeah.
he is seated with his back to the one-way mirror. You catch movement in the one-way mirror. A very familiar figure of a man in a uniform in the reflection. Marge, you hear the cracking of thin ice. You look down and you can see that this tile floor has begun to shatter in a spiderweb fashion, like especially around the legs of the seat that you're in, and you can feel your chair lurch as one of the legs breaks through the tile floor, and you can see black, frigid water bubbling up.
I try to nonchalantly close my eyes really hard.
Carolyn, you hear screaming through the vents.
Oh, he's back.
And a
Oh,
roar of some massive creature.
I missed him.
Nelly, a little hand comes up the side of the table. And you can just start to see the top of a head pull itself up, hair down in the eyes, very, very wet, one eye fixed upon you. And an alarm goes off in the entire facility. The man, Mr. Chen, looks around. What's happening? What's happening? What are you ladies doing?
There's
Oh, we ain't doing nothing.
the ghost is here again, right
My
there.
husband's back. I'm gonna go find him.
I'm just sort of
we're
like,
gonna
maybe I can
drown.
push the head back down.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's filling up fast here.
No, we just
I don't know what you know, young man. I keep calling you young man, but you're not that much younger than me, so you should know better. But you're asking us about our trauma. Clearly, these women are experiencing something traumatic right now, and your alarm's going off. So tell us, what is the relation? What's going on? You know what's going on. You ain't telling us. You got us here for a reason. You asked us about our trauma. The alarm's going off. Trauma stuff's happening now. What's happening?
Pound, pound, pound on the door. He leaps up and opens it. It's the same lady in the lab coat that you had seen previously. It's happening now. It's stronger than it's ever been. Then she'll look at the room. Them. It has something to do with them.
Oh, that's a big assumption, isn't it, love?
So, guards will, you hear them running down the corridor. You can see behind this man a bunch of these paramilitary guards. He looks at the doctor, or the woman in the lab coat, and says, well, let's try an experiment. She looks not very pleased at that. He looks intrigued. He looks intrigued, Carolyn, the way that your husband would look intrigued as he was, filleting some catch. Like very focused, but in an almost predatory fashion. It's somewhat off-putting. He will turn
Who is
back.
it that's putting the expression?
American
The
Psycho.
guy who was just with us, or
yeah.
the one? Okay.
Mr. Chen. He will say, ladies, why don't you come with me? I have something I'd like you to see.
no, we were just gonna go.
And then
Buy me a drink.
he'll snap. He'll even say, maybe later. And then he will snap his fingers, and the guards will escort you with him.
Oh, don't touch me.
They're not touching you. They're just...
This is a channel, I'll have you know. Don't touch it.
I pull out my safety knife.
They will immediately,
Disarm.
not enough to hurt you, but one of them will very rapidly grab your wrist. Would you like to resist and start a fight, or will you allow them to take the knife? Okay.
No, I'm just gonna tell him to hang on to it and use it if he sees anything coming at me.
He'll
Also, I want it back.
He'll stick it in his, the guard with the face mask will stick it in his belt. It leads you to the end of the hallway, to where you, Lillian, had seen the doctors come out. Then down a set of steps into a very similar kind of hallway, but one floor. So this is now 2 floors below ground. Is anyone doing anything? Or are you just going along?
I don't down.
I think I'm
Oh.
just taking in anything along the way, like doors or like just.
It's
I
all
don't think we're going to try and fight our way out.
yeah.
I
It's
already
all
pulled
it's
the
all
knife on
numbered.
these dudes. I'm not.
The numbering on the doors, they all started with A above in the floor that where you're being interrogated. These all start with B. But otherwise, it's extremely similar, very kind of generic looking. However, the doors that they lead you through here are double doors. The same kind of wood paneling, but as they open, you hear a psss as some sort of pressure seal is released. And you are standing on a mezzanine overlooking a very, very large laboratory. It looks very modern. There's computers and weird towers with wires and like things that you don't really have a frame of reference for. In the center of this largely metal and tile room is a 6 foot tall obelisk. It has wires and a variety of sensors attached to it. It has computers and machinery on carts nearby connected by thick cables. There are 5 or 6 technicians in lab coats just scrambling around and showing each other their readings. It is a hub of activity, and everyone seems to be a little bit freaked out. What do you do or say?
Oh, my grandsons used to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, thanks for the boon, Cat Dad.
I think I just carry on going, what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we now?
Right.
Where's my
Like,
Point.
He took one of my favorites.
We're just going to try a little something.
try what?
Wait, are
just
we
an
being
experiment.
test animals right now?
Oh
No,
yeah,
of
we're
course
bait.
not.
Yeah, we are definitely.
Yeah, we're bait. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't sign a consent.
I just have
No,
a
we're-
I
hy-
have a lawyer.
I have a
We're in the crab pot now,
hypothesis
Marge.
I would like to test.
You have a hypothesis.
Oh, if you have a hypothesis, then you better also have a consent form.
nerd.
Surely you want to help us with our experiments.
No.
No,
what do
because
you
we don't
mean?
know
No.
what you're experimenting for.
Surely
A
you wanna
why?
help us. That has never been said.
Unless the experiment is me and that monster one-on-one in a cage.
Unless that experiment is you and me, you know,
In the cage next
having
to
a
her.
drink at the watering hole downtown.
Possibly, Carolyn. Would you like to help?
No, I'm okay, but I'll need a bigger knife.
Oh, we can get you your knife back. Give her,
No, I'm
give
okay.
her,
Let's
give
go
her
with the
her
other,
knife.
Let's go with the other bait. I like being the other bait better. Yeah.
Why don't you ladies follow me? He leads you down a set of stairs into the ground floor of this 2-story lab. There's this humming black obelisk with these kind of glowing green sigils on it. All of your sensory experiences, the cracking of ice and the screaming of the husband, and like you can see Lillian Reg just like stood right there by the obelisk, like beckoning you and pointing at the obelisk. Nellie, you see Peggy Pulaski standing there. And then it's almost like your eyes go defocused. And it's like there's 2 images of her. And then they come back into focus and there's 2 of her. And they look at each other and they look at you and then they beckon. What do you do?
I'm going to go over to Reggie's ghost and try to put my hand through it.
You touch Reg.
Quick.
Or actually touch him, physically feel him.
Yep. And to be clear, it's a little distracting, but especially as soon as Lillian moves forward and reaches out, you see a man in a uniform.
I say, oh, sweet Jesus, you're real. And I'm just patting him.
And he does that thing where he kind of says, "Stop petting me, Lil." And then he reaches out and gives you a big hug. It's been so long.
Now kiss.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what's going on?
I've been lost for so
What's going
long.
on?
You
How's
finally
this
found
person
me.
here? Well, I found you in a facility in the town that we live in. That's just, this is weird and wrong, and what's going on, and I don't like it. And why is this shiny thing here? And why am I in a laboratory? You were never in a laboratory. You're a pilot.
Oh, there's so many things I have to tell you. I wasn't always honest about my
I'm
work
being
for the
pissed.
government. Yeah. Stop petting me. I'm trying to be serious here, Lil. Carolyn.
How can I take you serious?
I'm gonna look at that guard with the face mask, and I'm gonna say, unless you're getting nearer to that obelisk, I want my knife back.
He'll hand you your knife. Actually, no. Mr. Chen already said give you your knife back, so you have your knife back.
Okay. All right, let's go.
There is a very kind of squishy looking lump on the floor.
Poke, flip it over.
It's your husband.
Is he still dead?
Yeah.
No.
And then his eyes pop open.
Oh.
And he sits up, and you can see the gash marks on his torso just seal themselves closed. Carolyn.
George.
I was lost for so long, but you're finally here. You found me. You saved me.
I punch him.
And you do. You smack him right on the jaw.
That's what you get for dying on me. Damn ghosts. Okay.
Marge, the tile floors around you crack. And you can almost feel, it feels like the tiles that you're standing on are like floating pieces of ice, and you start kind of lose your balance a little bit. And then a hand splashes up through the ice, and you see a very frigid looking husband crawl his way up out of the water. Oh God, it's cold in there. Whew. I thought I saw my pa. Marge? Ooh, jeez. Yep.
I also like Lillian start like touching and being like, what? And I'm imagining he's still cold.
Yep. And wet.
Oh, geez, you need a hot dish. Wait a minute. Are you real? You're dead.
No, I just went for a swim.
Oh, no.
There, Marge?
You're dead. We buried you.
Well, that was rude, don't you think?
Well,
Did I hear you
it's
say
little
something about a hot
different.
dish?
I do have a hot dish.
Well, I'll take one. But then again, you always have been my hot dish.
Oh, jeez, bud. I'm sorry for flirting with that guy so hard earlier.
You can't help yourself.
I know. Just, you know.
The Peggies will come over and take your hands, Nellie, and draw you into the gathering of the other ladies.
I'll reach into my bag and give them each a pair of mittens.
They'll both put them on. Thanks, Miss Nellie, they say in unison.
Great.
And we can all see each other's.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the other people in the room looking at us?
All the scientists have taken a step back and are now looking at their readings. Mr. Chen is just leaning forward, watching everything with a look of delight on his face.
How big is the obelisk?
It was about 6 feet tall.
Okay.
What do you do?
Why are there two Peggies?
Yeah, why are there two Peggies?
Did you have a twin?
Oh.
Is one of them the real Peggy and the other Peggy is the one they made to send back?
Well, isn't the other one at home?
Are these conversations that you're having in the writer's room, or are you actually saying these things?
We're probably
I'm
saying
saying
these
it.
things
We're probably saying
because
it.
I'm 100% saying
I've
it.
turned my back on this ghost. I don't
Why
care
are there
about
two
him.
Peggies?
The Peggies look over and they'll say, There's lots of us,
Oh,
they
geez,
say
bud.
Oh.
in
Nope,
unison.
this is not
What?
good.
And then each of the two that are next to you do that thing where they kind of shiver and shimmy, and then pop. There are
Nope.
4.
Did they copy the mittens?
One of them does have mittens on. They don't look like mittens you've made, however. Their clothing is a little bit different. And the hairstyles are slightly different. They're all the same age. But they're not, now that you are looking, they're not exact duplicates.
Marge moves away from her husband because the Peggy thing is.
Oh, you want to
really
help me up here,
starting to
Marge?
Trip her out. No, I don't, dear. I really don't.
Oh, jeez.
Listen, do you see how many Peggies there are? Don't lie to me. This is weird and you're not you. There's way too many Peggies for you to be you. You know what I mean? Think about it. Be logical here.
Well, I mean, I feel like me. I sure look like me, and he slaps his big gut.
Well, that's true.
Ghost George. What killed you? If you say a bear, I will cut you.
I don't know. I was just hunting, and then I heard something big.
You're better hunting than that.
Well, it must have snuck up on me.
Nothing sneaks up on you.
Not until that last time.
Nah, I'm gonna go find that weird bear thing and I'll fight that. Won't you worry.
Ah, the weird bear thing. So,
Oh no. Oh shit.
there is a crash from a hallway on this lower level. You hear gunfire. You hear screams. And you hear something very, very large forcing its way up the hallway. What do you do?
Put the knife away, take out a machete.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I'm like, it's got to be this stone. Everything's about this bloody stone. Like, what's going on with this stone? And I just go and I go and touch it.
Okay.
It's like, it can't be real. And I just touch it.
So you touch it, and you all see Lillian touch the stone, and you see Lillian's hair or wig stand on end, and eyes just roll back. What you experience, Lillian, is a wash of memories. First your own, then those that you recognize of your friends, then some that you recognize as belonging to Mr. Chen. Those are quite distressing. They're difficult to piece together because this is like a massive flood, just like disjointed images. But you just, the sense you get from Mr. Chen is it's all very secretive and sinister. It is how you would, if you are familiar with the X-Files, it's how you would imagine the internal landscape of the Smoking Man to be. Lots of intrigue, lots of deception, lots of 100% true believer in a mission, but that mission is extremely secret and not necessarily positive from your perspective. You see flashes and flitters of the people around you, and then it goes deeper. You see memories that belong to Doug. You see, dead Doug. You see Doug dealing with the finances of his grocery store and things not looking really well. You see him, fighting with ex-wives, and then just like a variety of other people. And pretty soon the memories are, you can tell by just the brief glimpses that you get, they're from the 50s. They're from the 30s. You see gangsters and flappers out at the old amusement park on Gold Island. You see miners in the old Paulson gold mine, but they're actively working at pulling out ore. You see workers building the old Paulson castle on Gold Island. You see a man.
Do I see people covering up a well?
Sure. You also see just a brief glimpse of four Chinese gentlemen digging a well deep into the bedrock at the north end of the island. You get a slight sense of their fear. You see a man, a very hard man. You know that it is Oliver Paulson. You see him arguing with his family and with investors like a bank. You see him being completely convinced that he is going to find gold far from the Minnesota Gold Range. You see him somehow convincing people to fund his expedition. You see him wandering alone through the untrammeled forests of central Minnesota. You see him pull out a small, very familiar obelisk and close his eyes, and the glow flares, and he changes his direction and moves to a new place. You see just glimpses going back 150 years from people in your vicinity and from the ancestors of those who founded Willow Bluff. You see a very confusing image. You know that you're a woman. You don't know what time it is, but you are in a ruined room. Dust and you think it's probably a basement. There are cobwebs and moldy cloth and decayed cardboard and wood boxes. But an area in the center of this room has been cleared, and you see a circle with strange, very sinister symbols and candles around it. You can see her hands, your hands. You can see her pull out a wicked black knife and slice the palm of her hand. You can almost feel the cold of the blade as it pierces her skin, and the hot blood begins to run down. You can feel this wrongness, this deep, grating resonance as her voice casts out these words that you can't recognize, but you know are ancient and powerful. You can feel a struggle. You can feel her lose that struggle, and you can feel the ground beneath her opening and her falling and falling and falling and falling. There, as the floor slips away and you see over in the corner a similar obelisk, small, also glowing. And then you come to.
What color were her fingernails?
Blush pink.
Oh, man. Super sleuth, Lily.
So, would you like to theorize at this point? So we can take a pause on the cinematic action there. But in terms of the clues as to what is happening, I think you have them.
Yeah.
So
let's have a look at the move.
We'll say as the beast clamors its way, you can still have an open, freewheeling discussion about the solution to a mystery based on the clues you have uncovered, or reach a consensus in the 30 seconds before the paramilitary troops give way under the beast and it plunges into the room to kill everyone.
No, it's fine. I got it. Okay, theorize. So, when the Mavens have an open, freewheeling discussion about the solution to a mystery based on the clues they have uncovered and reach a consensus, roll plus the number of clues found, not including void clues, minus the mystery's complexity.
Yes.
This is for chat, audience, YouTube, whoever. 10 plus, it's the correct solution. 7 to 9, it's correct, but there's an issue. 6, it's incorrect. On a 12 plus, a person involved in the dark conspiracy of Brindlewood Bay also reveals themselves to the Mavens.
Yes.
He's like right there.
Yeah, in his colored suit.
Yeah, he's right there.
So it sounds to me, if you're doing cinematic, like the obelisk, they've hooked it up to their Lexi beta program to not only have an understanding of you through the internet, but also your memories, because this is a memory obelisk and it stores mems. So, but also the memories are bad voodoo ghosts. It brings your memories to life in a way that it connects you to them, and they might just might kill you because they want you to hang out and be in memory with them, which isn't great
That's not wonderful.
for you. Probably great for them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other thing. Here's my question, though. So, like, has the obelisk always brought things to be, or is it just the obelisk being coupled with, like, the insane amount of, like, electricity and stuff from being hooked up to this that is creating real life things?
Well,
I feel like it's probably
it's
always
been used. It's been used in rituals for a long time, because obviously the founder used it to find gold where gold shouldn't be, because he literally used it and moved on
maybe it
to a
grows
different
bigger
spot,
with
like
more,
it communicated with him.
Right.
and it grows bigger
then
with more
obviously-
memories and stuff.
Yeah, and then obviously we don't me as a player, I know that Grace obviously did a summoning ritual of some kind, and the floor went in with it
Yep.
below her, and then she found what I had deemed to be her father's obelisk.
Well, it was
when
already,
she fell
and to be
through.
clear, no, as she was falling, you saw a glimpse of the same obelisk that you
saw
saw
it. Right.
Oliver
So
Paulson
when she was
had.
doing the ritual, it was there.
Yes. Meta, we knew that she knew things about Paulson family and Willow Bluff history that were very, very
That
difficult
nobody
to
else
find. She had,
Yeah, so she knew about the woman that had the kids
Yep.
and stuff like that.
That all sounds like the finale for the meddling kids.
Yep.
When she's in the house and then she does the ritual and then Jeff inspects and it's just a giant hole.
Yep. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I presume it's always been creepy and
Oh,
doing
the big
this.
purple thing.
Yeah. The purple.
Big purple explosion is that.
Yeah. And the crevice that goes into nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it's always had the ability to do this, but if you hook it up
It's like
to
really doing
the
it
Wi-Fi,
a lot.
it does a lot of it.
Yeah, basically we've given it the power of the internet and a way to see into everybody's home.
And is it like, does it like us a lot because we're old, so we have lots of memories?
Maybe lots of we did immediately insert ourselves into Doug's house where it lives,
True.
and no one else went
beta
in there.
program. Yes.
And that was probably the only Lexi that had access to other people, so
the
it saw
actual
us and did the
obelisk.
memory thing.
Right.
Because it wasn't until that
Right.
evening that you got spookums, right?
Yeah, and you literally talked about your husband in Doug's house.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
Yep.
So, I mean, the haunting of this obelisk is what caused Doug's death then. And
Yeah.
it's probably not good that it's still hooked up to the internet.
Right.
Is this our theory then?
Yeah.
I think we summarized what
So
we think.
I hate
So the
internet.
ghost came through the Peggy, because there's many of them,
Yeah.
came through, well, just appeared in his
Well-
in his fridge because it was connected to.
I will say, Meta, you know what you saw in the images. You don't know what he saw.
Oh.
Right.
You just know
That's
that he
fair.
was very security conscious and was concerned about being locked in the freezer.
Right.
So he might have had a trauma about a freezer.
Or something.
And then
Would
it
that
killed
not
him.
have been something I saw just now in the memories? Because you said I saw all of Doug's memories.
Yes, we can say that you did see the moment as he was dying, and there was something in the freezer with him, but it wasn't Peggy. It was a creepy old crone, like a witch.
I'm right here.
Okay.
And you know and right. Well, that he had started rumors that the owners of Village Market was a witch.
Right.
So maybe he had a problem or had a previous trauma with a witch. Like maybe Halloween, like a old lady in the neighborhood dressed up like a witch and scared him, and it remained in his head. But what he saw was a creepy old crone, casting spells at him or something.
Gotcha.
Not a little girl. So, do you have a consensus?
I think so.
Who is going to roll on the theory?
What does it take?
Right, you can do it.
It's the number of clues that you have. You're actually rolling at +4.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay.
Well, I put a lot of clues in this one because we're doing 3 sessions as opposed to 1 session, so it's slightly more complex. But there were a lot of clues, and you got a lot of them. So it's a roll +4, and you have lots and lots of boons,
I feel like
including another one from Cat Daddy Boo.
Nelly hasn't rolled as much, but maybe that's just
Yeah.
how I feel.
No, I think Nelly started the theory, so
Yes.
Yeah, so Nelly should, roll.
Okay,
Carolyn
I'll
spent
give
the
it a
whole
roll. I'm gonna use a boon to re-roll.
Yes.
I was gonna be.
You have tons and tons of major boons.
I was gonna be really cheaty and do the.
Oh god,
This
it's the
reminds me
same
of a
roll.
time-
Jeez Louise.
You want to use another one? You got 3 left.
Yes, be the time to do it.
Yeah,
Let
do
me
it.
see where I'm adding +4.
Yep.
Well, this is a 9. Then with
Just
that,
do it.
Do it.
roll again or
Yeah, roll again.
roll again. All right, I'm
God,
rolling
use
again.
a
Boom.
nine- nine
Use
plus
a
4.
boon. We have so many. Just use them.
All right, so now I rolled a 7 +4.
Yep.
11.
It's 11.
Would you
Oh,
like?
no,
would
we
you
need to
like?
roll.
So close.
Would you
Does
like
anyone
to
have a
use?
minor
There
boon?
is a single minor boon. Would you like to use that to make it a 12?
Yeah, let's increase it by one with that
yes.
minor boon then to get a 12.
Cool. And I won't minor bane it back down.
Yeah, this seems interesting because something's going to happen.
So,
I really was tempted to just do that. This reminds me of a Tyra the Bandadella.
I think
Well,
we're going to have to
but-
do that when that monster comes for us.
theorize is the one thing that you can't use that on.
Oh, you're not allowed. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the one-
It's
that's-
the last
that's
thing.
the
It's
one
the
thing.
last thing. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
It does make sense as to why you can't do that because
Yes.
it's very cheaty.
Yes. So, you are correct. The object in question, and you know that there are multiple of them, right? Just based on what Lillian has shared, there's no way that the thing that Oliver Paulson had is the exact same thing that was in his basement when Grace was there,
Well,
and
Yeah, I
also
gonna
was
say,
given
didn't
to
we
the
see the other one too
Yeah.
as an award.
that was given as an award, and those were both not identical, but were quite small. This is a third one for sure. That was brought or potentially uncovered here, because remember, the Vikings theoretically came here and brought something weird with them. So, and Oliver Paulson was led here by something using his little small memory stone. And yes, 100% their experimentation and connecting whatever AI they have to this repository of memory, some of which is supernatural in nature, has had unintended consequences. You have an opportunity to interrupt this before the monster comes and kills everyone. But you are going to have to face your memories.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
Yeah.
how do you face your memories? This is not a roll, it's an RP thing.
I can do mine. I think
Sure.
mine's pretty straightforward. My husband, his death, whether it was natural or not, doesn't really matter. It still haunts me. I can't admit that he's dead. I keep saying that he's out there. I'm pretty confident that he's not coming back. So for me, I'm just going to try to envision him like as he appeared, because he like kind of got back up and was fixed. And I'm going to try and see if I can reverse that process back into the fleshy lump and then just like stare at him in silence.
All right.
Try to process that.
Yes. For the first time, maybe, Carolyn faces the loss of her husband and the fact that it was senseless. And stripping away all of the need to make it mysterious, which it was, but stripping away the focus on the mystery and the need to solve, the need to get revenge, not just on whatever it was that killed him, but on him for leaving you.
Mm-hmm.
All that anger, just put it to the side and sit for a moment with the fact that you lost your husband. He was a big part of your life. He was the center of your life. Lillian, or Marge, or Nellie.
I mean, I probably... I mean, mine's going to be similar, right? Like, I accept that, you know, my husband died doing something that he loved. And even though it was senseless, that he died for something he enjoyed doing, that I need to maybe accept and embrace that we all get older. And maybe sometimes we can't do things that we used to be able to do. And that's okay, because we can, you know, embrace our age and age gracefully and accept that we grow and change. And this is just a different era of my life. And that's okay.
Yes. Almost like holding on to your husband was holding on to
My
the way
youth
things
or-
used to
or
be.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Love
I
it.
might actually try that palette Lillian gave me.
Nellie or Lillian?
I will gather all of the polys over, you know, look to each of them and say, listen, I know it must be hard. I don't know exactly what you are or why there are so many of you, but I think I can just accept the fact that you're around. You can feel free to stop by my house whenever you want, all right? You just stop on by and I'll fix you up some tea and it'll be fine, okay?
Maybe there's a realization that in particular, your fascination for what happened to Peggy Blasky and emotional investment in that story, even after she came back, was tied to the loneliness you feel with your kids and grandkids being far away and maybe not seeing them as much. And it gave you something to focus on as opposed to that.
Yeah.
Love it.
But also they can still come haunt me
Yes.
because of that whole void thing.
Yes. But yeah, welcoming them in, but in a way that's more genuine, more self-aware.
Your husband's going to be pissed.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, who cares about him?
Yeah, exactly. I'll send them to his house too.
Right, and you can go haunt him too while you're at it. Lillian.
There's enough of them.
Everybody else's face there so nicely. Okay.
How would Lillian face it? It doesn't have to be the same.
So I go to go stand in front of Reg and I say, Reggie, I know it's not you. Even if I can feel you, you're not real. You're gone. But how dare you say that I stopped looking for you? I never stopped looking for you. All the stuff is all over my wall, and I got another clue literally early this night. So I won't ever stop looking for you. But I also have to get on with my life, Reggie. There's only so much you can do. And I worry about our children every day because they followed the same career as you, that they might poof and vanish. You never thought about that, did you? Did you, Reggie? No. But I have to let you go now. And maybe one day I'll find you, and maybe I won't. But you can't keep haunting me, Reggie. That's not fair. I'm done.
And he, with a look of pride on his face, fades into the obelisk. The 4 Peggies step away, turn back and smile at Nellie, wave, and then one by one file in. The shattered corpse of Carolyn's husband just kind of poof, fades away. A little bit of smoke gets sucked into the obelisk. Marge's husband kind of stands up, kind of dusts himself off a little bit, kind of tips his finger at you, and just kind of toddles on in. You know, he was kind of later in life, he was kind of a big man. He just kind of like, you know, in that self-assured walk that he had, just walks his way into the obelisk.
It's like about that time.
Yep. And
All right.
the doors, double doors on the lower level burst open, and you see this. It looks almost like it was made more than it was born. It has a deer's skull for a head. It has an almost ape-like body. It reeks of juniper and musk and death. And it bursts these doors and it slams its thick front arms down on the ground, hands splayed, long talons clawing into the tiles of the floor, and it lets loose this horrible screeching yowl. Everyone puts their hands over their ears. You can see glass panels breaking. It screams defiance at all of you, and it pierces you all with these little tiny blue sparks of light that sit inside the skull. And then it scrunches itself back for a leap, and then leaps into the obelisk and disappears.
No, my mantle.
No. You might have to crochet one.
My greatest conquest.
There's a boom of energy coming from the obelisk as all of the connections are fried. I mean, all the wires that are attached to this thing spark and immediately catch on fire. You can see explosions of sparks from these various different consoles. The lights in the building flicker off and then back on as emergency lights and a generator kicks in. And then it's quiet, but for the tinkling of glass and the few little sizzles as a few systems still have a little bit of juice in them. And then there are a bunch of scientists looking very confused about what just happened.
See, this is why we don't trust technology.
It's horrible. Really. Wi-Fi's bad.
Look at all this mess. My goodness.
It's not all like this.
Your
I'd like to take my name off the beta program. Some people have put me forward for it.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
You better take her off or we're going to have problems.
So we see this aerial scene of just destruction. And even the glow within the glyphs of this obelisk, it doesn't quite go away. But it was very, very bright. It just dims down to almost nothing. And in the midst of this silence, Lillian turns to Mr. Chen and says, I'd like to take my name off of the list for the beta program.
Please.
And then we cut away. But as the camera cuts away, we see a figure standing on the rails in the mezzanine. It is a figure with an asymmetrical bob cut in a very fashionable pantsuit, looking down on all of this happening. A look of disappointment but determination on her face. And then Gwen turns and strides back into the office portion of the complex, potentially unseen by you all. So,
Gwen?
Yes.
Yeah, the sister.
No.
That's not
No,
the
this
sister.
That's right.
The sister-
Gwen
the
is
Gwen is the person that I know who works for
your
SynTech.
friend.
yes.
Yeah,
Gwen
the
is
one who,
an
like-
executive at SynTech who told you she knew very little about this program.
Grace is the sister.
Grace is the sister.
She's the one that wanted to get you in the beta program.
Keep your homies close.
She was very happy to help you get into the beta program, in fact. So
Yeah.
the camera lifts out of the facility. You can see people running around. The lights eventually catch back on. You can see when we draw way back to where the little twinkling lights of Willow Bluff on the edge of the lake are still visible. And there's it's very, very dark, and there's mist, and just the lighting of the shot just gives a sense that behind every shadow there might be something sinister happening. But from a distance, it looks quite idyllic. Just a little village twinkling on the edge of a lake. We have a montage as there are some NDAs now.
Oh.
There's some paperwork and some bureaucracy.
Oh.
But you are all generously compensated on the condition that you do not reveal any corporate secrets that you might have learned during your time on the facility. You are told that some of the new technology that SynTech is working on to make the experiences with Lexi more intuitive might have a disorienting effect. Maybe there's a frequency that causes some hallucinations. They bear no responsibility for any injury that might have occurred, but they do tell you that they're going to be discontinuing the beta program. Do you all sign?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Or are you gonna?
Well, I do.
You're gonna sign it?
I have a very telling. My plan with the money is that I would like to have like a very tasteful moment where I take down George's old rifle in the mantle in the trophy room, and I remove the plaque, and then I hang a very shiny new AR-15.
Yes.
I feel like it's a one or all situation, isn't it?
Well, and it's just signing a piece of paper. What you do with it later is your own accord.
Yeah, I think I'd sign it. Like, even if they would let us leave and we're gonna yell about their weird spooky stone, like, who's going to believe us, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We can keep an eye on them this way.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, we're going to talk amongst ourselves, and they know that. So,
Oh yeah, we all have the same NDA, so it's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
And you have their Lexi device, so they're already going to be listening into us anyway.
Well,
what we're
I imagine we also see a scene of Lillian
Yeah.
disposing of the
literally
Lexi.
removing it, smashing it.
Smashing it.
Yeah.
Rock music, sledgehammer, me and Marge having a drink.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. Yeah.
Beautiful. The neighbor
Yeah.
kids kind of looking over the fence of Lillian's backyard going, what are they doing?
Yeah. Yeah, we're dressed in like our old clothes from the 80s.
So we see Lillian and Marge party in the backyard, destroying Lexi. We see Carolyn hanging up a brand new shiny black AR-15 on your wall. Does this one say Carolyn's gun?
Yeah. Carolyn's right arm.
Carolyn's right arm. Love it. What do we see Nellie doing?
I don't really know. I guess that the money, it'd probably be all like, oh, let me tithe a little more at the church. We know we have a big fundraiser coming up, and maybe I'm sitting in my cozy place. I bought more yarn, and you see me knitting and stuff like that. But when I'm doing that, if I'm ever reaching for something I need, a little ghost hand comes out and just kind of places it right there. And I'm like, I barely even notice it happening. It's just that everything's always just in reach now. It's weird.
Yep. And then we see late one night a series of trucks parked outside the research facility. Something large in a crate with a tarp over it being loaded onto the back of the truck. We follow the truck from above as it winds its way down the road that leads to the research facility into the road that skirts the western edge of the lake, up past the campgrounds, or past the RV park, past the campgrounds, up to almost to Grace Lutheran, and then up a very overgrown and rutted track that leads to the old Paulson gold mine, where there has been some equipment set up surreptitiously. You see the object being lowered out, or pulled out. You see it being trussed up and then lowered into the mine, where it is replaced. There is, in fact, we see a chamber deep in the mine, a circular dais carved out of stone, similar markings to the glyphs and sigils on the stone, and almost like a socket where this device is lowered down and replaced with a very, very solid thunk. And then everyone leaves. The mine is boarded back up. Individuals do their best to make the passage of the trucks through this area unnoticed. And the town goes about its business, none the wiser, except maybe for 4 old ladies who have finally gotten a taste for some of the sinister secrets going on under the surface and have made peace with their past to at least a small degree. Are there any other final scenes that we need to call?
Not for me.
No, I think we did it.
Awesome. So you solved the mystery
Yay!
and you got money
Yay!
and an AR-15.
That's probably not great.
Yeah, well, and
It's fine.
and Nellie's car is repaired,
Yay.
right? So everything is back to normal, except Lillian probably now suspects that there definitely was some sort of conspiracy involved in her husband's disappearance. You know, there's the little ghost helpers that Nellie is dealing with now forever. So there's like some lasting effects, but none of you were killed and eaten.
I like to go hunting in the woods more often now for weird creatures.
Yes. And maybe you have an easier time spotting signs of things that aren't entirely normal or natural now that you've had a close brush with the supernatural. The supernatural / technological. It's kind of, I mean, as you get together and chat, it's kind of like a melding of the two. But I will say, our final scene is probably in Lillian's breakfast nook, as you all file in for another meeting of the Murder Mavens. Very similar to what happened before, only maybe there's a little bit of snow on the ground now. Marge, of course, tracks snow in, leaving big clumps of it. Nellie comes in later and kind of just, cleans it all out. Carolyn comes in, probably not hauling an AR-15, or maybe you do. No. Maybe you have it in a canvas bag.
No, that's not an open carry bag.
Yeah, but comes in still probably armed to the gills with knives. Mm-hmm. Lillian and Marge already in, but listening to an old-fashioned record player as opposed to getting music to play out of Lexi. You all sit down with your wine and tea and or beer and have a conversation about the most recent episode of the murder show that you all love. And life continues as it did before. So I think that's a little bit short, but you guys got straight to the point and figured out the mystery, and it had been building for many, many hours of, I think, really fantastic play. And I have to say, I'm very pleased with the RP closure and character growth that happened as you all... Yes.
May I name this chapter of our story?
Yes.
The Memories of the Mavens.
Love it.
That's good.
Love it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, just because it's a good exercise to do, let's go over our final questions. So, which questions did you mark and did you achieve them and mark experience? Because maybe your characters level up.
Mine does.
Excellent.
I behaved like a woman half my age at least 10 times this session.
Yeah.
My character's not a talker, but she can definitely move and bustle, as Nelly says. So that one is a go. Share memory of a late family member. I'm on the fence on this one because it's a memory I've already shared before. It's always the same one about my husband because that was basically my character's trauma that she just could not get past. So I don't know if that counts or not.
No, I think you literally, the memory was manifest and you dealt with it. So yes, I would say that counts.
I'd say that counts.
Right.
Yeah.
In that case, I can level up.
Beautiful. Who's next?
I have still got it in half my age, which I would say that I don't know if I did both, but I definitely did one or the other with the Chen guy.
I would say definitely act like a woman. No, I think still got it.
Yeah, because I got him to come in and sit back down. I rolled a high roll.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take that one. But the other one was act like a woman half my age, which I don't know that I actually felt like I did that. So just one.
Okay. Nelly or Lillian?
I had the act like a woman half your age. I don't think I really did that, but I did dote on somebody, which was Lillian after the vent fell down on her,
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget, I assume we solved a mystery this time,
Yeah,
right?
and you all get it. We solved a mystery.
So you got
But
that
you also
one.
doted on the ghost. You gave them mittens for crying.
That's
I
true.
did give the ghost mittens, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Oh, and we solved it, so that's fine.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so I do level.
Perfect.
But only because we solved it.
Yes. Lillian.
I had half your age and wisdom with a younger person. I don't think I did half your age.
Oh, you made a ear thing you went spying in the vents.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that
okay.
counts.
Yeah, that was pretty bold of you.
Yeah, I think that
Oh,
counts.
okay.
That was very
In
cool.
fact, your original plan was to crawl through the vents.
Yeah.
So that's even...
Yeah.
Okay. And then the wisdom with the younger person was the pop of orange that I
Yes.
was insistent
Yes.
on. Keep going. So
Fashion wisdom shared with a younger person, definitely.
yeah. So yeah, I leveled up as well because I had 3 and that gave me another 3 because obviously I did both of them and then
And you all solved the mystery.
yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Well, this is it's not exactly Brindlewood Bay, so for those of you who are interested, and you should go check it out because it's a really cool. It's short. It's like 30 some odd pages. It's not expensive to pick up on DriveThruRPG, and it's a good way of supporting indie creators. But the stock version is set in a place called Brindlewood Bay. It has very specific kind of there's a very specific cult and other things that we kind of didn't really pull in. This is more inspired by Brindlewood Bay. But this has been, I think, a pretty good example of how the story that system is designed to tell about little murder maven ladies who get involved in normal and paranormal mysteries and the resulting kind of drama and growth and comedy that can ensue. So it's a system that we really, really love, or I at least really, really love. And thanks everyone for coming and joining and watching now and later on YouTube, which will go up sometime probably tomorrow over at youtube.com/sleeplesscontent. And thanks especially to the players for really bringing your A game, both in terms of the comedy and silliness, but also I think really throwing it in there with the RP and owning the characters and really doing them justice when it mattered. Cool. Awesome. Any
I
final?
think this
Go
has
ahead.
been my favorite so far.
Yes,
Because
it's been a
of
blast.
It's very
because of being old ladies and just the hijinks that old ladies can get into and kind of what they can get away with and how silly we can all be, the four of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like so far this is personally as a player has been my favorite, just because I think there's also that limit of, like obviously in Teen Justice Academy, we all have superpowers. And in those meddling kids, we all have we have something of some kind, some ability. Whereas in this one, we're just old ladies. And I kind of like the fact that you had to think about it. So obviously in this situation with the big monster thing, if it had been Teen Justice Academy, we'd have just fought it. If it had been those meddling kids, we would have just fought it. Whereas in this, it was kind of like run for the hills, because that makes sense as a story, because obviously we're four little old ladies that, like, although, we don't particularly see ourselves as old or whatever. Like my nan, she talks about the old ladies down the road and she's 85. Like it's that kind of, we don't see ourselves as old, but we still have those limits. And I think that kind of made it more fun and funny and interesting, because we had to talk and had to think, because you couldn't just go, and now I lift a car above my head.
Yep.
Like Carolyn is the commando, but when she's faced with actual commandos, like, is she gonna fight it? No, she's a little old lady.
Because she's like 70 years old. Yeah.
There's definitely
But I do love the
situations.
fact she didn't give her knife away. Like,
No,
I'm not going to fight you, but you're not having my knife.
It's like, are you going to break in? It's like, well, no, we're just going to pretend that someone invited us here. It's like, that's not what you got going on.
Gonna meddle.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zero, for DMing and narrating for us.
It's I recommend all of the Powered by the Apocalypse systems as a DM, but this is one where frankly one of the ways that we deviated from the prescribed Brindlewood Bay is there's a really nice way of structuring a mystery where you assign it points, you can assign clues, and you don't even have to know for sure what the conclusion is. The players themselves can define the solution. I did a little bit different, which was I defined the mystery based on your actions. So because you guys introduced Lexi, you guys introduced the dead husbands, you guys introduced most of the plot points and clues. It was just a matter of placing them and assigning importance to them. So it's designed to be very collaborative, not like you sit in a room and for a week and figure out all the details and then hope that the players come across it. It's very much, you're going to discover a clue. Okay, well, what clue makes sense in this moment? And it kind of, the mystery shapes itself through the play as opposed to having to do a lot of prep work, which I personally appreciate and highly recommend this. I highly recommend Masks and Monster of the Week and Monster Hearts and all the other kind of Powered by the Apocalypse hacks for precisely that reason, is that it's more collaborative and frankly less work as a DM, except on the improv side. So perfect group for this kind of story. And hopefully folks in chat and later on YouTube will enjoy it as well, and go check out more Brindlewood Bay content and the game itself, and give Jason Cordova a shout for doing a good job creating a really, really fun and very unique kind of game. Cool. Hey, why don't we do the thing that we always do as we're closing and go around in a circle and tell people who you are and where they can find you next. This time we really are starting with Meg.
Okay, well, hi, I am Megan Amell, and I am on Twitch, and I don't know if I'm going to stream tonight necessarily, but I'll be streaming a lot. I'll probably do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe. I don't know. I'll probably take one of those days off, but you just go follow me and turn on notifications, because the next 2 weeks is going to be really weird. Or join my Discord, because I'm on break, so I'm gonna stream more during my break. But normally I'm Tuesday, Thursdays, Saturdays. So Tuesday, Thursday nights, Saturday morning, afternoon. So, yep.
All right. I'm Misha less than 3. You can find me on Twitter at Misha Weha. That's Misha with a WEHA. You should definitely join the C plus content Discord and Twitter, because I've been on a roll making some theme songs and little intro videos, and I've been posting them in the fan art channel. So you should, check those out.
Yes, super amazing.
I'm Morrowind in my sales. I'm gonna take the first part of my thing to just really emphasize that Misha made us an opening. She made a song. She animated it. It's amazing. Please go check it out in the Discord. It's fantastic. Next time you can find me is either going to be potentially next weekend-ish if we do Star Wars.
Yes.
Where I play one of the aliens in the Cantina band, basically, in a space crew, or will probably be the week after that. So not next week, but the week after. I'll probably doing some streams. I don't know what, speed runs, link to the past randomizer, who knows, but you can check me out on my Twitch channel. Okay.
Hi, I'm RachH. You can check me out at twitch.tv/RachH. I'm currently still streaming, so go over there now.
Yes.
And drop me a follow, and also maybe a lurk and a unit. That would be appreciated. I've been having lots of fun with Stream Raiders recently, but like I said, the main thing I'm working on is in the new year. I'm hoping to come back with like brand new stuff, content, room, everything. Yeah, new stuff. And I just want to say thank you again to everyone. It's been so much fun playing with all of you guys. Michael, you did a great job as per. Yeah, and I've just had I had an absolute blast. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael or DM or GM or Keeper or Master of Ceremonies or whatever the system requires. Up next on Tuesday, we have part 2 of Oracles of Dune, which is a Modifius 2D20 game, very similar to the Star Trek game. We have coming up before the end of the year, we will do the makeup session of Star Wars Outlaws. We don't want to leave them hanging at the brink of certain death, unless schedules dictate that we have to pick it up. But don't worry, we will finish that one off. I will find a way not to kill everyone immediately. We have on Thursday, December 23rd, we have the start of our Stargate Phoenix 5 limited series, which is going to be similar mechanically to our Mass Effect game. So using a similar kind of rule set, but this time hacked to be able to tell a Planet of the Week type of story. And then on the 28th, we have our Labyrinth one-shot. So this is Jim Henson's Labyrinth RPG, where people will be a crotchety old man or the crotchety old man's hat, or a dwarf with a wrench, or a little worm. So beloved characters and types of beasts from the Labyrinth movie, all working together to try to either please or thwart the Goblin King at your own decision. I am the Goblin King in that one, so we'll see how that one plays out. But that'll be a one-shot, be a fun little palate cleanser. And then going into the new year, we have a lot of stuff on the calendar, including continuations of Star Trek, continuations of Teen Justice Academy, Our Masks, A New Generation RPG. I believe we talked about continuations of Those Meddling Kids, our Monster of the Week. And we could certainly come back and revisit Willow Bluff through the lens of these little old ladies, because they and their deeds are now canon in that world. So many, many more things to come. I would, however, like to introduce a post-credit scene. So, the little ladies are back doing their thing. They're all engaged in their cozy activity, their shared cozy activity of playing cards and eating hot dish and talking about the most recent novel. Maybe little spectral hands are helping Nellie get the right set of cards to win the game of bridge. And then we cut back down, like in a rapid kind of helicopter shot up over Paulson Castle, then down to the western side to the boarded up gold mine, deep into the winding tunnels into this vast chamber underground with this obelisk and its very, very softly glowing symbols. Stepping out of the shadows is a figure. Can't quite see its face. Black of starless night is its cloak, with strange arcane sigils woven in some sort of silvery thread around the edge of its cowl and its cuffs. And it looks at the obelisk and speaks in a resonant voice. And the second seal was broken. Then we fade to credits. So, for those of you who did not see those meddling kids, this is a continuation of the apocalypse getting nearer and nearer.
Yay.
So, to be continued in the next game that is set in Willow Bluff.
I feel like after the ending of the second seal is broken, there needs to be a Pretends commercial.
Yes, exactly.
Did your second seal just break?
Oh, yes. Oh, and it's in this one is set in a horror movie, right? It's like everyone's in a horror movie, and then there's a jump scare as that same voice says, and the second seal is broken, and there's a jump scare, and everyone kind of goes, oh, and then a little old lady in the crowd kind of looks a little bit, horrified.
We all know that feeling.
Yeah, right. We all know that feeling when your second seal breaks, but you don't have to deal with it if you have Pretends. You can pretend it isn't going to happen. Pretend the world isn't ending with Pretends.
Right.
Lovely.
Don't want to get up for a second time? No problem.
Wow.
Pretend you don't have to.
We should be sponsored.
Louise.
That's the next thing is we Misha, the next thing we need is a Pretends commercial.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could totally make one.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Collectively,
you
we need to make
My
some.
green screen.
Yeah, you could.
Yes.
Oh my god.
We need some Pretends commercials.
That's funny.
Yeah,
awesome.
if you haven't checked out my like Fresh Prince cover and my Backstreet Boys video on my YouTube, you really should.
They're
If you like to laugh at people, and if you like to see me dressed up as every member of the Backstreet Boys,
Perfect.
please go check that out. So yes, we can do some stuff. We can do some stuff on green screen.
we definitely need a Pretends commercial or two. So
oh my
awesome.
god, yes.
Cool. Well, I wonder who we're gonna have to go raid. Oh wait, we probably ought to go raid Rachie.
Oh, no, but I'm just doing stream raiders.
That's fine.
Don't raid me. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was looking at other tabletop people. I was like, who could we go with? I don't know them well enough.
Yeah, and we should. So I would say go. We're gonna head over to Rachie. Go drop some units, and probably go check out My Fair Kelly as well, playing Middle Earth: Shadow of the whatever that one's called.
Nice.
So that's what I plan to do. I plan to go over and play some units, get caught up on the Snowfall event, and then hang out and watch Kelly play Shadow of Mordor. I think it is.
My Fair Kelly, who loves to drop in a good old boon.
Yes.
No, a bane. Kelly's the banes.
Oh.
There we go. And there's a link to Kelly's channel, so we should probably go hang out there as well. So awesome. We will see no D&D tonight because I think Juice is doing family stuff for holidays. Ugh. I know, right?
Family.
Ew. So, but we'll be back in January with that, and then see you all next time. Awesome.
See you next time.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.